talking in my face?
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you.
Oh.
Alrighty, guys.
Damn it.
Alright, we're live. Alright. Let me tell those girls to shut up.
It says we ain't got no sound.
It's okay. Talk.
Oh, yeah, you
Can
good.
hear?
Yeah.
Alright.
I would agree with 5. Yeah, 5 is
Is that's your overall number?
that's like dangerously me actually.
Wow.
You're the one that wants to cleanse your privacy. You don't let people.
No, it's
You
the
and I
it's,
get a
it's
bad
the
thing.
thinker, but they like get
Did it
lost
say cleric?
in their thought.
Did it say cleric?
The friends that I get all pissed off.
The
at. There's
healers.
the 5s. I'm like, let me in, damn it. Right. Oops. Are you guys recording?
You're good.
Oh, we swear all the time.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Just don't say names.
Oh, we.
The other
I
time,
don't know what's next.
just in
No,
the
no,
podcast,
no,
Derek was talking about how he
no.
likes butt stuff.
Butt play.
That's
It's
true.
booty play.
Yeah.
Did you just close that page?
I didn't.
Fuck. You did.
I'm like, I didn't. Nope, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay. You showing?
That ate in me.
Yep.
Which
Do
one am I
you
going?
care if it gets...
Which one am I
The
going?
long test.
That's how books are supposed to be.
Do you do a lot of reading?
No. I used to read a
Back in
lot,
the day? Yeah.
but
I was a Harry Potter nerd. I was big into Harry
I
Potter.
see what you got to talk about, though. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have them on.
So Brianna, I
So
agree with
Derek,
you.
you're gonna be here,
Yeah, we chilling.
and then you click next, and it will...
I was gonna keep my deep sexy
But yeah,
voice on for right
do
now.
it.
Know what I'm
My
saying?
second one was a 9. and I
Stop
agree with
yelling
you
though.
Because
Damn, talk to this.
I
But
just want y'all to shut
She
the
can
fuck up
just-
so I can think.
when
So, it's
the
all-
when I just read that one, I was like, oh, because you're not that trusting.
No.
Oh,
Exactly.
trusting. Oh, they said trustworthy.
Same.
Sorry.
What?
Alright.
I'd eat a bullet before I betray the people I care about.
Okay, well, what's going? No.
Open for you guys.
So like we normally do. How's everybody's week's been going? Or we missed last week as well. We didn't do Saturday. We did do Friday. I had Remington on. So
That was a pretty good conversation.
let's
That was fun, right?
recap how things
I like
been going for everybody and what moves and things they got going their way. We will address the Kobe Bryant thing throughout the podcast. I don't think right now is the time to do so. We'll probably just make it its own thing and subject matter in this podcast. I got a couple things that I had related to the situation. Not directly, like I know them, but things of like conversations and whatnot that happened and other people's views on it. Might have brought a little bit different, like a little demon inside me that I didn't
We
know
should
I had.
start with this.
No, well, let's just recap what everybody's been up
Yeah.
to while I take this quiz.
How was your week, James Michael?
My week's been good. Some things are going at my house that we have to like take care of, but like we already have it in motion. Nothing big. But I mean, other than that, everything's been going great.
My germs?
Yeah.
Coco?
So,
Everybody looking at me.
got a new work schedule. So I'll be working Sunday through Thursday. So I have Fridays and Saturdays off. So I want to kind of spend my Fridays doing some activity for the podcast, and then Saturday reviewing the activity. I think that would be kind of fun. So I sent you guys a list of the restaurants. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Pick 4 of them. Do one every week.
Were those black owned?
Black owned for Black History Month. That's what I was figuring.
Local.
That'd be
All
cool.
local.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
I mean, listen, it don't have to be black owned. It is a big thing that when you can find something that is black owned.
So it was like
Now, are they
27.
are they black funded too? As in, like,
Probably.
are they produce and stuff through black farms?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm fucking around. No. That's that Killer Mike shit. You got me all fucked up.
How deep does this go?
It's so difficult to like
How black is this?
black owned business like from like watching that Killer Mike thing. It's
Yeah, I
just
can't concentrate
crazy.
right now, bro. Go ahead. Right?
It like you like to have a black store that like gets its produce from black farms to like get like it's almost impossible. You'll end up either spending more money than you're making, or you gotta be just cut corners. And once upon a time, it wasn't like that, which was kind of crazy.
I might have to take this later.
You might as well just take it.
I know, I just can't focus on it.
This is happening to me right now. I'm like,
Because I know we got some like conversations and shit that I want to get into, but I also do want to know mine. So maybe towards the middle or end.
I already know yours. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, sexy beast.
Reading the
That-
question.
what's that? Number three. Number
It's
three.
pussy.
Number three.
It's,
I'm a
it's,
two.
It's
You guys have
Badusi.
a wing 3.
Darius acting like a Badusi.
Like, you can guess the number, but
Yeah,
people only know.
Okay. So for me, my week has been pretty much the same, working and whatnot. I had a couple conversations with others about coming on the podcast and stuff. What I do need to say is, like, because I had a couple people reach out. Yeah, we do a podcast and we sit around and talk about like general stuff, but we would like when we have guests that come on to have somewhat of a certain topic or subject matter that they would like to talk about or discuss. Now, it could be anything, like just something that you're into. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you have to be doing whatever kind of major projects or anything, even if it's something you want to try and start. Like, because I had a lot of people in this last week literally like, yeah, I want to come on. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, what kind of things do you want to talk about? Like, what do you have going? Like, what are you working on? Oh, no, I just want to come and talk shit. That's fine. That's cool and all. But what do you want to talk shit about? Like, if you want to do current events and topics or whatever, you know, help me build up a list or something of what we would cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah. So we're always open to have people on, and you know, it's cool to see that we have the interest being shown. You know, in the messages and stuff that I'm getting. Yeah. But with that being said, welcome. How's your week? Actually, hold on. We have another special guest. Off camera, you'll hear her voice throughout, I'm sure. She's the one and only super famous. Yeah,
Tabitha.
so when you hear the little voice, you know.
We can kind of hear you anyway.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool. Are you picking them up like very loudly or not too bad?
I turned it down a little bit, but still I can hear the TV.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh well.
Oh.
I don't know. That's
Listen,
copyright.
this
Is that
kid's
copyright or
outside.
something?
Yeah.
But
Let me.
What?
I'll tell him to turn it down a little bit.
Turn that
Well, some Disney going on.
We're gonna get flagged. Niggas gonna kick down the door with the AK like, pay up, bitches, ho. Pay up, bitches, ho.
okay. Today is the first day of Black History Month.
Yes.
Happy Black History Month.
Thank you.
Happy both.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you as well.
Thank you.
Stay strong, brother.
Coming soon. Yeah. So I mean, it was a funny thing. Like, I was watching someone else's podcast, and on the podcast, he had this is an older episode, but he had someone on who did some like great work where you kind of would never expect someone to be able to pull another person out of a certain dark spot or like a way of thinking, right? And the guy who was speaking though had a lot of points and topic or subject topic like points that I find myself resonating with. And when it was going on, I was just like, damn, like for someone else to have that, and he's so many generations away from me, it just kind of was like it like reassured like, yo, there are other people with like mine. You know what I mean? Where it's like, what today's day, things so fucking polarized. You know what I mean? Where
Sometimes the thought's just right too. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Like,
but with the right thought comes like sometimes like racial expectancy or expectancy is there, like where it's like you shouldn't be talking or thinking this way stereotypically. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, because you're black, you shouldn't think this is how we're gonna fix things.
Yeah, but
just
that's
because.
a wrong thought.
Oh
Like,
no,
that's
100.
absolutely.
I
wrong
didn't
thought.
say it was
No,
right.
no,
I'm just saying it
no,
comes with that kind of conversation.
But what I'm saying is, you know, just like there's a right thought, sometimes there's a wrong thought.
Yeah.
And because I'm a certain skin color, I have to think a certain way. That's stupid.
No, yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like there's no other way to say it besides stupid.
Yeah. What are you sipping on? What are you shooting? This one?
Yeah.
In my cup.
Corey's cup is empty.
Yo, hush you.
Cause
This cup ain't empty. Hush you.
That's empty though.
But so what? That got nothing to do with you. My Brianna's business.
No. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's almost empty. Do you want to do shots tonight or no?
Sure. I know. Whatever.
Okay, let's do.
Let me see.
Give me some of the Malibu. Yeah, we'll give her the Malibu. You're almost done, Brown. Good job.
This is almost empty too. You might as well just give her the
Do you
whole
want
bottle.
to just throw whatever the rest in there?
Just tell her to
If
go.
you really like that fuck, like you can.
It's nothing
No,
though.
it's like nothing.
Whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna be picky.
I'm with it.
Okay, so we're gonna give her the Malibu for now. Okay, so let's jump into the conversation of American history, but with what?
I kind of wanted to know what kind of thoughts the guy was talking about that. Like,
So we're gonna do the Kobe Bryant thing first.
Oh, okay.
That's where it came. Okay,
Okay,
so
alright.
first off, I want to open on my part with a heavy heart on the whole situation with all the people who lost their lives in that situation. You know, we want to obviously extend our apologies and our sorrows to the families who lost loved ones. What I will say though is that the people on social media who are behind these keyboards and stuff that are pushing the agenda, just like they push the agenda of all lives matter. Yeah, I get what you're saying when you say there were other people on the helicopter, but in general, when people are speaking on, like saying rest in peace to Kobe and his daughter, that's their choice to address them. Where I get what you're saying, as you want, everybody should be addressed, and I agree. I think everybody at one point should be talked about and acknowledged if you lost your life or you did something in life in general. I don't feel we should be able or should have power to push the narrative of you have to talk about everybody in general.
Yeah.
Just like you have your free speech or your thought, you know, it's one of those things.
Sometimes it's okay to shut up.
Well, no, it's just sometimes you
No,
don't.
No, that's true, but I'm gonna say it bluntly.
Like,
Those other lives, honestly, didn't touch everybody like Kobe Bryant
That's
did.
what I was gonna
They-
say.
So
yeah.
for them, it's a shame that their lives are lost. But
Mhm.
honestly, does it impact me?
But my thing was,
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
You connect with what you know.
Like, you want me?
I feel like it's super loud right now.
I feel bad that they're like. I feel bad for their families. I feel bad that they're lost. But Kobe Bryant was a household, like a household.
exactly.
Thing.
Yeah.
So everybody feels that loss. Where with these other people, it's more into their family.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not, and at no point am I taking away from the loss of the life.
course.
You know what I mean? But here's where I had a couple conversations and a couple things aroused. No, because aroused is nasty.
James, what was you?
Arisen.
What was you, James? I got 925.
I'm 5'9"
Okay. So right now they're doing anagrams. What's it called? Anagrams?
What is it called? Enneagrams?
Anagram?
yeah, enneagrams.
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 Yeah.
And basically, it's like an old school ass pagan. It's not pagan. It's like an older like religious base, right?
Yeah, it was religious based. A lot of people decided they were just gonna keep it a secret in the top people of the religious communities because it didn't want to be let out to the common man that we know that there's basically 9 different types of people in the world, 9 different personalities,
Yeah.
and how to evolve to your best self from that core number that you are. Your essence is what it's called. So that's why they wanted to keep it as an oral tradition. Just
Is this
among
So
followed
it's-
by multiple religions?
Mhm.
So it's
not
just
like a
another
specific-
way to divide us.
Yes.
Yes and no. I mean, it could divide you, but it also
It didn't
teaches
get.
you how to.
It didn't get like a nasty following or anything behind it. It's
No.
just one of those secret things
No,
that you
no.
did and
Yeah.
found out what kind of person you are.
Yeah, so it teaches you how to interact with other numbers. So me
Gotcha.
as a 2 and Brianna as an 8.
Yeah.
When I'm upset, I turn to an 8. So I will seek her out in order to understand me, so I don't feel as bad.
Got you.
But if I'm doing something and it's more in my 2 self and she's more in her 8 self, she might accidentally trigger me. And for her to trigger me, instead of me reacting in a negative way, showing my automatic response to her,
Yeah.
I'm about, oh, that's just being Brianna. I need to cool my jets. I need to calm
Gotcha.
the fuck down.
Yeah.
And just so we
It's
can
'cause she's-
respect each
'cause she's
other.
I
an
can
asshole.
hear it right now. Oh my God, that's such an 8 thing to do.
Um,
Yeah.
You're such a 2. It's like,
That's too funny. So-
It's fun.
We're doing it at work now.
So personally,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by it. Like I'd like to see the
It's
different
interesting.
kind of.
And like to read, like today I was reading the parts of the book, and I was like, bitch.
If this ain't right, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause it actually gives you like self-care tips. Like, hey, you're going into your bad place.
Oh, that's,
Take these
that's crazy.
self-care things. Like, here, recognize these
I
behaviors.
wonder who sat down for however long and figured this shit out.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like deciphered like the kind of
Right.
situations you could be going through and stuff.
Yeah.
Just Google.
And
it.
there's a great like I have a podcast I can recommend for you guys if you're interested in that kind
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely check it out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
There's something in this book that it does is the childhood pattern shit. It's so fucked.
Okay.
What?
What?
She's obsessed.
I was just saying because Corey just brought it up. I was. We can go like down that road in a
Oh, I
minute.
forgot. Wait. Okay. Go.
What?
Sorry, we
What?
jumped.
What'd you
I
forget?
forgot we were on the Kobe Bryant thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I think I'll open first with Ari Shafir.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
I'll open with that first, just because I kind of want to like rile the room up first, and then I'll talk about what riled me up. So Ari Shafir, he used to be the host of this show called This Isn't Happening on Comedy Central.
Yes, I remember the show.
It's fucking hilarious of a show. I find him to be in his niche. He's a good comic. Like he's funny in his niche. But also you got to realize like the kind of time it is now with all this like not sensitive, but the cancel culture and all that, and then the timing of when you made your joke, that shit's not tasteful at all. Even if it wasn't like say it was years ago, like when everybody wasn't so sensitive, it still was not it wasn't a classy move. Now don't get me wrong, like because I've watched a couple of his other things like that he's been involved with, like and seen him interact with some of his like friends like.
He wants to make people angry.
Yeah, I think he's one of those trigger guys, but.
If you look, he smiled when he said the first.
But he also said that he has other videos doing that when other people died. The thing is, I don't think that's justifiable because, like, even when she said, "Oh, that's just Brianna," I'm like, that's not an excuse if it's a situation that's a heavy situation. You don't get to act. You know what I mean? You need to act accordingly to the situation.
Right.
Now, when Ari Shafir put the video up, it was literally minutes after they announced that Kobe died. I was laying down when you fucking messaged me.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was a good
He's
one.
like, yo,
I woke up to that shit.
Corey said they said Kobe's dead. I'm like, what? I go on my phone. I'm like, oh, she's not real. I put my phone down.
And I was like, it's a
Dad
different Kobe.
literally jumped up and was like, "Yo, they said Kobe Bryant said." That's fake news. Let me look. And I looked.
Then
And
I'm like, they said a helicopter crash. I'm like,
But like even that announcement was fucked because TMZ
And then
announced
the
it before the
daughter
family was
was
even
like,
notified.
The wife found out through
TMZ's
TMZ.
in the story, yeah.
So
go ahead.
no, what are you gonna?
All right, so it kind of goes off of.
Oh, you talking about the Ari Shafir thing now?
Yeah, this is my issue with news. Like,
So let me just get the Ari Shafir thing out, then we can go there.
Yeah.
So Ari Shafir said in the joke, like I'm pretty sure. Actually, we could play it if you want to go on YouTube. Ari Shafir,
Kobe
Bryant's death.
Yeah.
It was just tasteless and it wasn't class. Like it was just.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying too, and I agree with you. Like, yo, I don't care who you are. Like, bad behavior is just sometimes just bad behavior, and I'm the first person to defend comedy. Like, yo, I don't think any joke.
Can you? I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it though.
You could have went to the 131 one when he just was just his face.
No, this is not. That's.
Yeah, go right there, 131.
Like,
yeah.
like, look, I don't think any joke or any topic is off limits on the joke. But here's the responsibility.
Can't hear it.
If you make a shit joke, guess what? The joke sucked. You get what I'm saying? Like,
All right, so you know what? I'm just gonna pull it up on my phone. Real quick.
so
So-
so if he was joking, it's a shit joke. It didn't sound like he was joking. It sounded like he was literally just rashing a man, saying like thank God he died because he's a rapist.
Yeah, but even then, the rapist part wasn't even about his trial. The rapist part was about how he didn't go with the Hornets.
Yeah, that was his
But
beef.
That's what he was talking about.
But what I'm saying is the joke was poor.
Yeah, no,
you
it
know
was
what I'm
just tasteless. It was.
Like, hey, like I said, I'll always defend the right to make a joke.
Have everybody in the room heard this or no?
I've heard it.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up so that you guys can hear it.
Always a lot of like hate in the world.
So you don't really need to see what he's saying.
Terrible stories. Every once in a while, there's a good story. Good story comes out.
Not so close.
Guy who got away with rape got his today. Kobe Bryant is a god. I'm here in Charlotte, the home of the team that originally drafted him. Maybe he wouldn't have raped that chick in Denver if he'd stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets. But anyway, the point is, dude, it's like,
It's about.
'cause I know there's always a lot of like hate, pain in the world, and there's always a bunch of terrible stories. And every once in a while, there's a good story. Good story comes out. The guy who got away with
Can you
rape
hear my nose breathing?
got his
Why
time.
you say something?
There you go.
Kobe Bryant is
Please
a
follow us
god.
So
Yeah.
he also put on his Twitter, shout some shit like shout out to the guy who didn't fill the helicopter.
Yeah, he's a
or
hero.
some shit.
He's
So-
a hero, yeah.
Mind you, like I said, from seeing him interact, and I'm not making excuses for anybody. At the same time, I do know some people cope with things differently. Like if I'm arguing with somebody, in the middle of the heated argument, I might throw out a dumbass joke. In general, I'm not saying that's what's happening here, and I'm not saying that it's okay what he did here. But some people just deal with shit differently. Now, knowing, like even myself, knowing that's how I deal with stuff, I move accordingly to the situation. If I feel this shit can get physical, I'm not gonna make a joke. You know what I mean? If I feel this shit we can't get past it right now, a joke's not coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about a life and lives lost. But for you to specifically hone in on one life for whatever reason, like, come on, my guy, you're fucking up. That's a screw up. There's no other way to look at it.
Right.
Then on top of it, you have to remember, not only are you on a platform, the people who you surround yourself are also on platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, now they're gonna be associated with whatever kind of shit you said.
Right.
Even though they didn't say it, they're gonna get all types of messages on social media and backlash and shit. Ari he lost his agent and all that stuff, which he should, because that was not a
Classy or appropriate joke. Or something.
that wasn't a classy thing to do. I thought she got hurt. Yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts on that though?
It was tasteless.
Yeah, tasteless. That's yeah.
You know what I mean, like it's
That's bad. It was bad. I mean, there's nothing you can say to say, oh, I was joking. Like, where's the joke?
so he did go and say that he was joking. Like he said, like he always jokes like that. But there is a track record if you go look back at other people who did pass, where he made jokes like super just too soon.
Who laughed?
That's what I'm saying though. It's
That's
like
what the-
you know how a lot of the times you hear motherfucker throw out a joke and like, oh that's too soon.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. But he did that shit immediately.
Yeah.
Like there was
The
no.
smoke was still in the air. No.
Too soon.
Jesus. Fuck Corey. I'm trying to
Damn
like
it, Corey.
just bring the light to like yo.
Wait,
You gotta.
when is too soon though?
What do you mean?
Like
that,
I think
When the bodies aren't even on ice.
I think that's a question. No, not Ari. I said I'm saying
in general, like when if someone's not buried, it can still be
No,
too
all right.
soon.
No, let me rephrase. When does too soon end? Is what I should have asked.
Maybe like 2 weeks, a week. Like for me,
Let people grieve.
for me it's like a week or two, and then I'm gonna throw out my joke. But at the same time, it's like certain people you just kind of don't throw those jokes out for a while, like a little
Right.
longer. Like Bernie Mac. No, I ain't throwing no jokes when he died.
Don't. I
Yeah, I
still
mean-
ain't hearing nobody bring back jokes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, if you're gonna throw a joke out about Bernie Mac, you gotta make me cry. Like you gotta make me laugh so hard, I'm gonna cry, or the joke's not good. Period.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I just feel like it's like there's a time and a place for everything, right? And it makes it even worse to me because now I know that the wife found out
Through TMZ.
through TMZ, which your jackass self probably said it immediately right after they released the
when you're saying
information.
that the whole time and the place thing, there's a time to report something, and for TMZ to report that Kobe died before they couldn't even tell the wife that he's dead,
Yeah.
that's bad.
No, that's just poor journalism. That's
Yes.
completely different.
I mean-
I know.
And that's no respect either.
Everybody
Yeah,
wants to
that's-
feel like they knew it first, and they want everybody to know. Hey, I knew this before everybody else.
Yeah.
And TMZ is just one of those.
I
Like,
forgot who it was. Someone keeps saying like it's not. Oh, it's Charlemagne. It's not a matter of being right anymore or true. It's being first.
right.
That shit's real. Like
And
every,
TMZ is one of the the original the originators of that with
Yeah.
news organizations.
Yes.
I'm using that so loosely.
yeah. So
Right.
so how did you guys all feel about the whole passing of Kobe though? Like obviously like, we all know he's a basketball legend. The guy, literally, I think he was going into the second leg of his life where he was gonna probably be able to. This is where he really was gonna help people.
Coaching
Yeah.
thing.
Not even that. I'm just saying like just when he did his like Mamba TED Talk thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So many people resonated with that shit.
It's
How many
kind of-
people did you help start their business or get the thought
The
of
mentality.
Yeah.
You know.
exactly like the
yeah.
Mamba mentality didn't just have to be on the basketball court.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it caught me
yeah.
off guard how hard it hit me.
Yeah, me too.
Because like I'm not a sports fan or anything, so like Kobe Bryant's more of a like passing name for me,
Mhm.
or at least I thought so. And then I realized, like, oh no, this dude, like, has been everywhere. You know what I mean? Has, like, he's, like, hit, like, even people who, like, don't watch, like, basketball, don't care about basketball, have somehow or another benefited from Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
School,
Yeah.
like, job opportunities. This man has, like, been an active part in people's lives. And if you just, like, look, like, not even 5 minutes, you can find out, like his charity work in, like, seconds.
Yeah.
Just put Kobe work charity and you'll be like, oh my god, this guy's been
Kobe charity work. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah. No. So, I'm just gonna go into the conversation that I had that kind of brought like a fucking demon out that I didn't know I had. Like, and it kind of made me like self-reflect, where it's like, oh shit, that was racist.
oh shit.
So, in the conversation, I'm talking to a coworker of mine, and he, like, while we're talking, I already kind of have a feeling like, you know, I kind of knew where this could have gone, but he told me, as a father, I wouldn't have been in the helicopter with my kid. I said, you say that shit in hindsight. You say that after the lives were lost. You don't realize how many times they made these trips back and forth to wherever he was going, because Kobe got around in helicopters. Mm-hmm. So then when he was talking to whatever and said it, he's like, you know, they said no one will be up in the sky. Well, they got special clearance. If it's absolute, they'd say no. Just like on the roads when there's a snow emergency, no one on the roads. If you're caught on the road, you get fined, pulled over, sometimes arrested. Mm-hmm. So it would be the same if they were like absolutely no one in the sky.
Wait, she didn't know that.
Being from Missouri, I did not know that. Not that I will.
What, to be on the road?
If there's
They don't play out here.
They don't play out here. I like that. Missouri's like, go right ahead.
But there are times where if you're like dire staff, like if you were like had to go to the hospital or something, you just show them your badge and you'll be fine.
Yeah, like if you're like, what do they call it? Like I have to go in because I'm 24 hours where I work.
It's called
really?
Staff.
Yeah.
We can't go in if there's like if I have an overnight, the other shift has to
I forgot what it's called. Yeah, you gotta stay, but
no. Like if
you're
I
supposed
have an overnight and they shut down the roads, I don't have to go in. The staff that's already
there
has to stay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
No, that's true. It's happened to me. I had to stay a couple of times.
So
what if they got kids?
Doesn't matter.
You know what the company says?
Oh, I would have been like,
fuck your kids. So while we're talking or whatever, the conversation started to kind of seem less about it being a man who lost his life and it being that it was a black man that lost his life.
Okay,
just the tone of the conversation.
in your conversation.
In my conversation.
How did it get there?
Just while we're talking, you kind of, you know how you can just feel how shit's going? Like, you know how when you talk to somebody and you be like, you know, oh, in America, you know, we do it this way. And they're like, yeah. But in Salvador, we do it like this. Like, okay, so what was the point of bringing up Salvador if I'm just saying, like, this is how it is here? Yeah, I mean, like, I understand you might want to make the comparison, but this is where we are and what we're talking about, right? And in this sense, it was like, in my head, literally, when it was going down and he was saying it, he's like, you know, as a father, I wouldn't do this, that, and the third. I'm like, in hindsight, we could say whatever the fuck it is, no matter what. And then I was like, I bet you if this nigga was Spanish, it'd be a whole nother conversation you'd be trying to have.
Because he'd understand it.
And here's where the dark part came out. I was like, bookmark, like, remember this day. Okay. So the moment that a Spanish nigga or motherfucker dies like that, you have that moment.
Yeah, but
you see what I'm saying though? Like, that's where I'm like, why the fuck would I go there? I don't think like that. I'm not a person that.
Because that's who he is.
But I don't wish ill on nobody, and I was like, that's why I had to walk away, because I was like, you're bringing out something that ain't me. Mm. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I would never wish, like, even like I didn't say name or nothing, but I don't want. What happened?
I was like, that's your way.
Oh.
She was doing it.
She do the graph.
She's
like
a
circle with like.
She's like, I know his number. I know it.
But you know, that's what I said. I was just like, they literally brought something else out of me. I had to stop talking and walk away, because I was like, yeah, you guys know me. I like to have a good time all the time. I'm not one to be angry and down always. I'm most of the time I'm the one who's hyping everybody else up. Right. You know, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, when it happened, I was just like, fuck, like that. I literally in my head thought, and I didn't say a specific name of nobody or nothing, but I was like, you know, let that happen to somebody of the same race as him, and let's see if his conversation is the same.
I just think that argument is
No, I don't give a fuck what. I was just saying, like, in the moment too, I was like, right immediately after, I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you think something like that?
It's like That was racist.
Yeah, no, it was just like dark and ill. Like I'm not that guy, and I was just like, dude, like I don't know. Maybe I would have punched him if it was not at work. I don't know, like something else. I just all I
wanted
know
to hit him, but I couldn't.
But
I said something
it
hurtful.
made me go somewhere where I don't go, and it was off of some shit that didn't have to do with anybody. Like where we really had where we had stock, like not like that we didn't care, but most of the time it was people who are of your life, like as in in your circles and things like that, you get emotions or feelings like that. But
so you didn't even know you hold too much.
No, it was more so that it was. I think it was like almost it felt like diminishing the life of a black man, rather than that a man and his daughter lost their lives.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that was my dark thought of the week. I don't know.
I don't know if it's that dark. I mean, it's out of character for Derek.
Yeah,
but
that's why I said it was dark.
I felt like a piece of shit after.
Right. But is it dark? Really?
It's my favorite number.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, get introduced.
I was just gonna comment on the fact for Enneagram. If you're the number that we've been kind of discussing under wraps here, if you show us this other number, what you just described, your whole I gotta step away, I gotta take a second.
Yeah.
Shows that number. A number that's called a 9, a peacemaker. It's exactly what they do.
That's not me though, but
No, but
in
so
the moment, yeah.
In
So-
stress, you were
yeah.
freaked out.
So you
I'm
have
going into my bad
an
spot.
average, which
Yeah.
is your number.
Well, in stress,
And
I
then
just
you
shut the
have-
fuck up. Like
but
when I'm
that's
angry.
the
That's the
peacemaker
peacemaker,
one.
though.
okay,
Not
yeah.
everybody does that. I
Yeah.
go ape shit. Like
Yeah.
that.
Well, you know what though? Like hold on. If my silence is the threat, does that count as peacemaking still?
Yes.
Like people know if I'm quiet, don't bother them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's speaking
Yeah.
peace.
Okay. No, it's not though. I'm not
Yes,
peaceful
it is.
at all.
It's peaceful
no.
through fear.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I do the same thing. It's not you
Time
being
out.
peaceful. They leave you alone
Yes.
in peace.
The general
So
number.
you get what I'm saying? You're making peace for yourself by being
No,
Hold
no,
on, which one
time
is my
out.
stress
I'm not-
number?
Let me
If
throw
I
this
was
out
a
there.
925.
It's not about peace at all.
You're 9.
No, let me.
You're
For-
a 9, 2, or a 5.
Brianna.
So
If we literally had this conversation about this the other day, where you said
read 9,
the
2,
way
5.
people know
See which one
Derek's
matches
mad is when he's quiet.
Yeah.
Right.
So how is that making peace rather than?
I'm not saying you're mending anything. I'm saying you're making peace for yourself. You want everything
Yeah.
quiet. You want everything away from you. You
No.
don't want
I'm
to be
quiet
bothered.
because I'm about to fuck someone up.
Right. You're making the room leave you alone.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
No,
your-
yeah, I
that's
didn't want it to be
that's
like, oh,
what
I'm
I'm
quiet
saying.
because I'm stopping the conversation.
No.
No, I'm quiet because I'm ready to
You're
throw
trying to
hands.
self-preserve yourself.
That's
okay.
that's
like
what
when
I'm.
I'm upset, I will go
'cause
straight
I'm-
up to
I
your
do the
face
same
and be
thing.
like, what the fuck?
I do the
I
same
am
thing.
in
Piece
phase.
of shit.
Get away from me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm about to jump.
I'm not your
Like,
friend.
Yo, get the fuck away. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we all just display
That's
it. in different
interesting.
numbers.
yeah, sometimes you just want everyone to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, James is still the cleric, but like,
And you suck dick.
Hey.
He does.
mind your
who are you
business.
to
That's
judge?
none of your business. It was the '80s. Everybody was
That's
doing
not,
it.
that's not your place to out him.
Yeah. Oh, true. Speaking of outing,
Hey, and as a chef, if you had to suck the dick, who?
And technically, brother, you the one that outed him because you the one that told us that he like butt stuff.
The thing you guys use is called the
Yeah,
dick.
who did?
oh, the dick. What about it?
As a chef, if you have to suck the dick, work.
You were.
Sometimes
Who's
you
the judge?
what?
That's
This
the
happened.
way
All
to
right,
sound.
we have too many conversations
What
going
does it
on.
do anyways?
Huh?
The machine.
The dick?
Yeah.
Go back like.
It's literally like a sausage stuffer.
Oh.
Like you take the lining and you put it on the tip, and then you turn the machine on or you crank it, and then it'll use the ground meat and push it through the tube.
It stuffs it.
Yup, the shaft is what it's called, but whatever. Okay.
So the dicks.
Stay out of my candy. No.
Before we go to the next topic,
No.
I would like to have a toast to Kobe.
No. Huh?
Before we go to the
Yeah,
next
let's
topic.
knock this down.
No?
To Kobe now.
To Kobe.
What? We're gonna have fun.
Close that before you bang your shit and get upset. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like protect.
You heard that? Did you hear it?
I don't have any more Jack Apple.
But you got a bottle of Jack Honey now.
Z
So.
Apple, you got.
Alright, I'm a chaser.
Charles. You're a chaser?
I'm sorry, I thought the word was
She
pussy.
doesn't want to be on camera.
To go.
Cheers.
To Kobe.
Cheers to Kobe and those who lost their lives.
No,
Yeah.
cheers to Gianna.
And everybody in the helicopter. Also, cheers to the homeboy, Info Gates.
Oh yeah.
Passed away on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you didn't know?
Saturday
I didn't know that.
Info Gates?
From
Some strange music?
Yeah.
Info Gates. Bitch don't hate.
No.
Showed up at the studio,
Well,
bars
he
of fish.
fucked up.
Rest in peace. I just don't know him.
Rest in peace to all those who lost their lives. You will be missed. It's done now. Oh, a little warm.
Right? I mean, not warm, but like still warm.
So-
That tastes like suntan lotion.
Oh, word?
You didn't like it?
That was the Malibu,
I
right?
was just straight coconut. I
Yeah.
went,
Oh.
I should have gave you that.
I knew what it was, but I just didn't think.
Yeah. So I just feel like Kobe. Like, I think we should like skedaddle along too, but not like.
Well, real quick, because this is
Okay.
from someone like I'm not.
Yeah,
a
just
sports
say
fan,
it. Don't
but
just say it.
I don't want to say he was underappreciated because it's very clear that his fans
He was
like,
100%.
really,
Nope.
really. No. What I'm saying.
Everybody's underappreciated in life.
Let me explain what I'm saying before you like.
I know I'm right.
I'm saying where he's like, you know how a lot of people go, "Oh, you weren't a fan until he passed."
Yes.
No, not with Kobe.
Like
You know
Nipsey
what-
Hussle.
Like that's what I mean by he wasn't underappreciated. Not like let's be honest, we'll be discovering this man's legacy for years.
Oh, for sure.
That's not what I mean by underappreciated. I mean his fans were already there. You know what I mean? They might not have been as loud, but this man has fans where like he didn't even like he'll never be like not mirrored. You know what I mean? But there'll be no replication. You can't replicate the kind of
You're moving your hands too much. I'm worried.
man. Fuck these. He'll never be replicated. And I think everybody knew that when he was alive. I just don't think everybody realized how hard it would hit when he passed. You see what I'm saying?
Game wise, I think he was an imitation of Jordan's play style.
Yeah.
Very similar to how Jordan played.
We got it.
And life and mentality and work ethic, unparalleled to anybody.
Yeah, right. I'm talking about the totality. I'm talking about all of them. I'm not dividing them up. I'm just saying because I don't know enough about him in sports to dispute that or you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm only going off of what I've heard too.
Right, but when I'm looking at his totality, like even the people who didn't like Kobe, like Kobe, you know what I mean?
At least respected him.
Right,
man.
respected him. And I think that and that's what I mean by he's not wasn't underappreciated. I'm not talking about like people like looking at like the stuff he did because we could always make the argument that he wasn't appreciated enough.
Yeah.
I'm talking about as the man. I think everybody respected him,
Yeah, for sure.
and that's what I meant by appreciation. I don't mean
And he
like,
still played like that old school style where he stayed with the same team his whole career, things like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he stayed there even when the team was on its slump and all that. You know, he was the reason why they didn't go into a whole double, triple rebuild mode because Kobe was still a cornerstone, of the team.
which team?
The Lakers.
Okay.
Right, you fuck with me?
I
He
don't
doesn't know anything about
Bro,
football.
I know he
I
was
almost spit in his
I,
hair.
I
No,
know he
I'm
was.
kidding.
I know he was in the Lakers for like
Yeah, he was on the Lakers this whole time.
the whole
time.
career.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
20 years. 20 years. So
I knew he ended his career as a Laker. I didn't know he was a Laker the whole time.
yeah,
I told
but-
you,
but,
I don't
like,
know
the
nothing
guy-
about the sport. I'm not gonna pretend.
the guy was out of the league for a year and ends up winning an Oscar or an Academy Award off of a 5-minute short film that he made about the life after basketball or Mamba mentality kind of deal. It's 5 minutes, but it's fucking inspirational the whole time. Like it was really good. And I don't remember what the interview was, but he said it straight up. It was like, I'm here now to show these basketball players that there is more to you than just basketball. Everything you learned in basketball, all those years and time and dedication and lost like memories with others, take all that you learned, all those techniques, and you apply it into the later part of your life. You apply it to the next project, the next, you know what I mean, like whatever you take on. You know, even if it's like sports analyst or doing photography or film, you know, the work ethic that you built just to be an NBA player is going to already outrun a lot of the people who are in that field because the hours and time that you put in at the gym by yourself
Do you think
in
he's
the
one of the
court.
first people to say
You know
that?
what? I think
Kobe was the first person I actually heard say, like with a confidence and so confident that I believed and knew he was telling the truth and was right. That those guys, like, you know, you just have those guys that are on that other level, but they still put that time in by themselves in the gym.
practice.
They still
you know.
they still put that time in by themselves in the weight room.
Right.
They still sit there and watch film like Tom Brady.
Kyrie.
All right, I got a question for you
LeBron,
guys
yeah.
because all of you guys are
Go ahead, go ahead.
sports heads more or less.
I don't think it's a matter of the sports thing. I think it's
this is the energy I'm talking about.
Okay,
I want to bring
yeah.
up. So, at one point, it seemed like when a player did a sport,
see,
that's where it began to end for them. Like they were, and then eventually someone decided to realize that hey, there's more to me now
than just basketball. Or
I am the brand.
Yeah,
not the NBA, NFL, or whatever.
Mm.
When did that change?
Yo, this is better for us, bro, because you lean when you talk, and as long as your mic is right there, you're gravy.
Yeah. Not one
Just
time
look
I
at me
had
in my
time.
eyes, baby.
I don't want you to
Usually
fall
have,
in love.
like,
Calm down.
Fall in love. We're usually arguing with him. Look at me, read, but listen.
When did that change?
So I think when you start talking like the change of like the after the sport, for a lot of the guys when we're talking like football, hockey, and things like that, the toll on the body was too heavy. So you didn't really see too much of that after. Whereas to now, you got like you got Bradshaw, you got Michael Strahan, and all these guys who went to analysts, which that's what we want. We want the guys who played the sport. I want you to tell me what's happening.
But I also want them to ref.
I would like them to ref, but I think the way that
You're too biased.
it's too political too.
Oh,
I think
you
it's
got friends.
I think it's
But
too
not even
political
that.
too, though.
You guys are getting away from the you guys are getting away from the question.
What? No, like I said, before you didn't see that too much in like football. You might have seen a little bit in basketball.
I think football is the reason why.
But can you guys more or less like?
I can't pinpoint when it happened.
Yeah,
but I could.
I want to.
CTE has always been a thing.
No, but
Just we didn't know the name of it.
No, I'm not saying it's never been a thing. What I'm saying is
Hold on.
we know that the NFL hit that since 1950 when they made their brain center, and they found out that the CTE was a thing, but they never told the public that CTE was a thing.
What did that have to do with his question? I'm confused.
When the NFL players started saying, "Yo, we're getting injured here, and the money's not enough for us going to kill ourselves like a Junior Seau type of shit."
It is.
You know what I mean? It's not enough.
It's enough.
Hell yeah. They get paid more.
Damn, but
Yo, talking in my right here.
Can
They
you
get paid
listen?
more.
You're in zero space right now.
What do you mean? No,
You're in
they
the
can hear
center of
me.
the room. You're in
I
the
can
Yeah,
hear
but it's-
myself.
But it would sound like
You're
it's air.
echoing off the walls.
No, I'm not. I can
Alright.
hear myself.
Okay, now you
You're
better.
Just
huh?
no,
Correct me
because
if I'm
it's
wrong.
not
You're the other side.
This is the right side, but
Oh, word.
it's wrong.
You like this is correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the NBA players market themselves way more than NFL players.
Okay, so in the NBA is worldwide. NFL is not as heavy worldwide. Football is not a big sport around the world. It's soccer, basketball, baseball. You got hockey a little bit, but that's like the colder areas.
But
It is
called the
National Football League.
Yeah,
The national means America.
The
what does the NBA stand for?
Yes.
National.
Okay, but
right.
but basketball
But wait,
went
come on.
global.
But what's a nation?
It's a nation.
Yeah, what's a nation?
I don't know. I never said I knew. I was
One
just
country.
asking.
That's one country.
Does Canada
So-
have national?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
What I will say is that basketball is global.
So they have just a wider fan base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
They can reach
not-
more people.
they have more reach. Rather, but the NFL, don't get me wrong, NFL is also known
I
around
thought
the
he
world,
said whiter.
but not everybody plays that.
I was
Wider.
like,
No. Why you
Why,
gotta
why we gotta get racist? Like,
We jump higher.
You
so
are the problem.
hey man, they're the ones who gave us the term Negro, but whatever.
Whoa.
So to try and like,
I'm offended.
I don't even know how to answer your question. To be honest, it's more so you see the branding through the NBA more so because it's global.
Okay.
So now they know my name is attached to this number and my name is attached to this team. Whereas with football, you've seen a lot more moving around, like guys traded and shit like that. Same thing with baseball. But with basketball in the 80s and stuff, most of the time before, players would stay with the same team that drafted them. You know what I mean? So I think a little bit after the Jordan era, you started seeing guys move and stuff. I mean, like during Jordan's era, you seen guys traded, but you didn't really see guys take it amongst themselves, like LeBron, who was like, I'm taking my brand
to this team.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna make something down.
Even
there.
that's
What about
different.
the lockout?
Yeah.
That might have been
I don't-
something with it.
Nope.
I don't think that's
The
happened.
lockout wasn't anything to
I
do with
haven't
the
seen
lockout.
that
Was
before.
I know
Besides
that was a
LeBron,
contract.
you
thing.
did or didn't?
I haven't.
No.
LeBron's the
I
only
think
person
LeBron was
I
the
can
first
think
one
of
who
who's
really
like, no, I'm
made the stand.
choosing this team. You don't get to draft
Yes.
me.
Well, that's why he gets a lot of shit too,
Well,
because he
Kevin
left.
Garnett also though, but
No, Kevin Garnett got traded.
Well,
but I think he chose the Celtics.
No, the Celtics put an inquiry on.
I
for
feel
him.
the people who
when him and Ray Allen came.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they went out to get those guys.
trendsetters are always like judged the hardest because
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
nobody
yeah.
to like. Go
Well,
and
it's
compare
because
yourself to.
everybody. No, they always compared him to Jordan, a guy who was
Even Jordan
drafted
couldn't do
drafted by a team, and stayed with that team. When he got his legal troubles or whatever it was, he left the sport, went to baseball, returned back to basketball,
Those contracts are dope.
played for the same team, and then ended up with the Hornets,
Milwaukee.
Charlotte Hornets.
Well, no,
That's
stop.
the team he owns.
Well,
No, I'm saying that's what happened,
No, but in all honesty, let's be real. Like at that point, Chicago was still the big thing. Jordan was.
No, when he left, it wasn't.
Jordan.
Actually, it was. yeah.
Jordan was important. Jordan
It
was
was
huge.
how it is.
But I don't know if Jordan
fell
could have
off.
just been like, no, I'm choosing this team instead.
At any point in the '90s, yeah, he could have.
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
think so.
It never happened.
What do you mean?
before. Because
Jordan was.
Jordan was the first person to brand themselves. I think. Like.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. Not first. No, because you got Larry Bird,
Well, as
Magic
big,
Johnson.
as like nobody was as. I mean,
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah. What was his name? Homeboy from the Celtics. Can't think of his name right now.
if you exactly.
No. 'Cause he got 11 championships.
All right.
Russell.
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Way before Jordan.
Russell Bill.
And I almost said that dude like an asshole. Cause I couldn't think of the name, but so the branding part was always there. Where I think the branding honestly came in with the race, cause you had the Negro League before, where it was black people playing on their team or whatever. Boston Celtics were the first team to allow a black person. Same thing with the Red Sox, I think. No, Red Sox was probably the last actually. The Celtics were the first team to let a black person play with white players. So when he came, it was a big thing, you know what I mean? But like obviously, it's like you got a dude who's like probably 7 feet. I don't know how tall he was.
Just like
Because
Taco.
the regulation rim back in the day was
Look at
smaller.
Taco.
Yeah. Now I don't know if they raised it because of him. I know
Look at-
Corey, but
yeah.
Taco sucks, bro.
I thought they raised it because of him.
He sucks because I guess he was this.
He's slow.
We know that.
He can't
He's
run.
the last
Yo,
person.
don't-
He's the heaviest dude in the league, I
It's-
think.
It's not nice to talk about his intelligence like
I
that.
want to talk about
No,
that's fucked
intelligence.
up.
The Central
better
supposed to be
than
the
that,
first one down.
Man, fuck the Celtics. Anyways,
Yo,
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm signing, so I don't.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. So
Are you doing actual sign language?
She
Yeah.
signs.
Give me some.
She's fluent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She teaches
I used to
art
have
deaf-
some, but I got this.
Wait, she you said she teaches?
She teaches art deaf and hard of hearing.
Oh, I thought she had classes. I was like,
How do I
Oh, I
sign
don't.
up for
Yeah,
that
I
class?
don't take.
I
Yeah.
told her to come.
It's best for a deaf person to teach because it's their language.
Right.
It's the same thing, like similar to a white person teaching about black culture. You don't want them doing that.
Yeah,
So it's the same thing. Like you don't want hearing people teaching about teaching.
I got
about
yelled at for
deaf-
Oh, no,
clapping.
my
I got
Spanish-
yelled at for clapping.
my
one time.
Spanish teacher wasn't
Yeah, because they don't
Spanish.
like that.
She was a
Like,
beast.
Yay.
Yeah, it was like fuck y'all. Like yeah, I'm gonna give you a chance for, but fuck
You
you.
can do this. It's
What?
a mix
I
of
just
both.
gave it the
This is
spirit
yay
fingers.
and
Guys,
it's
the signs are these.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what we're doing.
No, it's
Yeah,
true though.
So instead of like
I
this
got-
is a yay.
I got yelled at. I was
So
like,
both like clapping and
Okay,
yay.
so you don't clap.
Yeah. 'cause
why?
that means
Can I ask why they get offended?
Wait, it means what?
Does it
Because
mean?
they can't hear. It's a hearing base.
It's a hearing
You
thing.
have to hear.
We
clapping.
clap because
Time
of the
out
sound.
though.
I get
Hold on, but there's also the visual aspect. Like
But
you
they don't-
know,
They
Here-
can't see, but if they can't see you clap, what does that mean?
that's fine.
Right.
I'm not clapping for.
You can
Time out. I'm
No.
not clapping for them though.
I get
If I'm clapping for them, I'll make sure that they know. Like in general, when you clap for somebody, when you clap for somebody, you direct it to them, right?
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
would make sure if it's.
If you do, some hearing people don't.
Wait,
though.
first of all, Derek, if
Some
you
people are very.
meet
Hold
a
on,
deaf
hold on,
person,
let her get it up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, some people are deaf. Like everybody in the world, there's people that aren't aware of cultural norms or what would be respected. Some people don't make sure that you're in the eye line of sight for a deaf person, so they may get angry at that. They may not. It's all based on the individual deaf people, and you'd have to ask them yourselves.
Okay.
Derek,
What?
I want to let you know right now.
What?
If you're clapping at somebody and a deaf person in the audience gets mad at you, you're an asshole.
Who's an asshole?
The deaf person.
Why?
It's not for them. Why are you getting mad?
No. I get. She's.
If they're the deaf person in the like performance,
That's. I get you. I got
That's
you. But I
fine.
wasn't saying that.
I was about to say.
I wasn't saying it at all. Damn. You floored me.
I thought you were talking about a deaf person like in the
No,
audience getting
no,
mad
no.
because you're clapping. I was like,
we
that's
were,
bullshit.
we were at like we all just sitting around. We all sitting around like talking shit or whatever.
But she's
And
a bitch.
No. She's one of those.
She's the type of deaf person to be like, because I'm deaf, everybody else needs to accustom to me and
Accommodate,
she can
asshole.
talk.
That people can be assholes too.
Well,
But she chooses when she wants to do whatever. But her personality is a bitch. Deafness aside, she's a bitch.
okay.
So she chooses, right now, I'm in a bad mood. No, you guys need to talk to me. I'm taking my hearing aids out.
Yeah. I mean, there are different things, different
But
aspects
I
of
understand
that
what
that
I get. I get
Yeah,
why they
but,
would.
I mean,
It's
affecting
inclusion.
them.
It's more so
Yeah.
inclusion.
Yeah,
Right?
it's because it's more visually accessible to do this. It's a bigger motion.
Yeah.
If you're just clapping in front of you, it's harder to see that, especially if they are
But
performing in a dark audience.
like, you know,
think how much you can see on a stage.
You've encountered black people in your life, right?
Yeah.
We're very
You guys are
animated
the
when
first.
we do anything in life.
Well,
So you know, when we clap, we it's the body, you know.
But like white people maybe do like this shit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, but so when it
I
happened,
don't know. Have you met Brianna? She's the loudest one in the
I-
audience.
Not
she's the worst person to use.
Eyes, you tell.
James,
She's
time,
just pale.
time the fuck out.
She's vampire.
My mom just didn't let me go outside.
Brianna's skin tone is white or lighter, but
Internally.
her demeanor and everything is nothing else.
Oh, I agree.
So I'm saying this more so because it's like, as much as we keep bringing this, stop it, because I'm not giving you the black card either. Relax.
Wait. I thought I already had it.
Oh, Brianna's hood as fuck.
Oh
I'll
my
say it.
god. So like I was saying, with the whole narrative, everybody want to keep throwing that out there. In general, that jokes and stuff, okay, for whatever. But I'm saying, all jokes aside, when motherfuckers be like, "Oh, she white," I'm like, bro, she probably more hip and black than anybody you fucked with.
Yeah.
So in general, when people say that, I know who I'm fucking with. I already know you just either it's based on your perspective of your argument. She's black. She's white or Spanish.
Bro, she says
Depending on
bullshit
your
to
argument.
police.
Yeah.
No, but
I used to tell Brianna this all the time. They didn't want her playing with their kids either. Like me and Brianna
It was-
just play with their kids.
there was I forgot what it was. What was the show?
What?
When the lady was like, he said he's a white boy with N-word tendencies.
It was Love and Hip Hop.
That's her though. She's a white girl with N-word tendencies. But it's real though, cause she grew up in all inner city. Like, it's like, I don't understand why. I mean, I get it. If you want to throw the skin color out there, all right, we'll just sit there
You're
with
not
you
the
being
new
on the
guy. You're
racist
the
side.
You just be like an idiot too, though. Like,
No,
let's,
movie
let's
the
know
guy.
that.
Yo, can you order pizza for them?
Yo, she doesn't know the movie The New Guy.
Yeah, huh? We watched it.
She's
Oh no, she might not see the movie. That might have been one of my
Has
other.
she seen Purple Rain?
Like,
I'm introducing Katie to that today. This week.
Okay, anyways, what were we
It's on
talking about?
Netflix, bro.
This is how he
What were we talking about? Oh, the global star thing.
It was Spanish.
Yeah. The Brandon.
Yeah.
When did like
So
that change?
all right, so you had branding with heavier with like, I can remember like Magic Johnson and I remember the conversation, not like I wasn't alive at the time.
Right.
but Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, they did Chuck Taylors. They were both signed to Chuck Taylor. Someone who would deliver.
Oh, because the other one that you like doesn't deliver either.
Spazianos? They don't deliver?
Ooh, they sound like they make good pizza.
They are good. I think they do deliver. Yeah, they deliver.
And I'm gonna be honest, that was a racist response because that name. Right, that's all I went off of.
Owned by black dude.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a Freeman with the running the store named what's it? Spaziano?
Spaziano.
It's
fucking
He had to. He bought that in the name.
You gotta keep
Of
the
course.
name. I can't put the clause.
No, you should. If you buy it, you should lose the name because Stefano's.
She was like National Pizza Day. We're like, we're gonna go and see pizza. We're gonna get pizza. She
What are
fucking.
you doing?
Touching my collar or
Get the
something.
water.
You need to like pull it away now.
You just
I was
putting up
like,
a
okay,
car,
I'll go get
a
pizza.
blurry ass
We went into
car.
5
Who
different
cares?
pizza places because she's like, none of these people are Italian. Like,
None of us
oh,
are
word.
Italian.
Yeah.
So it's still
It's
good.
so good. It feels like in America.
I think like three pizzas.
You guys gonna eat pizza?
Yeah.
Why, you think the girls gonna total like 2 pizzas?
They each could probably eat 2 or 3 pizzas. So 2, 4.
I don't need the
6.
math. I'm just saying yes or no.
Wow.
That's correct.
Sassy as fuck today, huh?
What's my number? What's my number? What's my
Hey,
number?
give me Derek, you've been drinking shit. You sassy as
I had
fuck.
one drink.
Do a
That
cheese,
flavor.
pepperoni, 2 pepperoni, 1 cheese.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that
Or 2
pepperoni's
cheese, 1
fire.
pepperoni.
Do two, 1 cheese, 2 pepperoni. Do 1 with the sweet sauce. One of the pepperonis.
What? What's the sweet sauce? I want that. What is that?
Y'all throwing down? Cool. Oh, cool.
I'll shoot it to you. Whatever.
Alright, tradition.
Yeah. All right. So
Thin crust, right? Normal.
regular, yeah.
Yeah.
No, what did he say?
Why you acting like you knew?
Bruh.
What? What?
I don't speak Spanish.
And I do.
Well, keep this shit over there. You know want me to do this too, bitch?
No,
Yes.
Derek, you know something, right?
I'm-
Importance to recognize culture, dude.
Whenever they speak Spanish at you or whatever, you don't understand,
I
just
got
go.
this I didn't even tell you.
All right, fuck you. I don't know. Fuck you.
Yeah. Anyways.
Look, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
say it as a defense. I don't know what you're saying. Watch your mouth.
You nasty.
Oh.
You nasty.
Yo,
No.
it's not nasty. Look,
I just see this motherfucking nasty smirking and shit.
that shit is hilarious.
What about it?
Didn't we like that last time?
It's good.
You don't want that one?
Do one. Do no sweet sauce on the pepperoni then. Just regular.
Okay.
Oh, I said, look, that's me. Look,
What the hell?
It's stupid.
It's not worth it.
If you want to get it. Yeah. So, yeah, the global branding, like I was saying, I feel like for me, what I remember the first time I'm really talking about it was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I think one had a deal with like
Chuck Taylor.
Pro-Ked first, and then went to Chuck Taylor's. They both ended up with Chuck Taylor's, their own version of Chuck Taylor shoes and stuff. Just like, you got like the Jordans and all that stuff.
right.
But people were going crazy for the two different. You go get the Larry Birds or the Magic Johnson Chucks. You know what I mean? Mind you, what a Chuck looked like, it was the same kind of shoe. It was the canvas and all, like, whatever the fuck you want to call that.
Like, it wasn't a basketball shoe.
No, it wasn't that like heavy leather, like supported. Nah, it was like a fucking regular Chuck Taylor. So that's what I'll say with the whole branding thing. I will say the first time I think it was taken on as in like I'm the brand is probably LeBron. I don't think I know any other player who took like I'm my brand. Let me move accordingly. Like LeBron is doing that while still playing.
But see, that's what
Does movie deals, does agencies, all that stuff.
See,
Like he's already in that later half of his life while playing.
I get what you're saying because
Or the next
I
stage.
think like Jordan touched it but didn't know what he was
No,
doing.
Jordan didn't.
Space Jam was
Just a movie.
but-
He never did anything else off of that.
baseball. No, hold on. Just listen. Baseball,
Bring your mic to you.
baseball, basketball, movie. He touched on it, but he didn't realize, it's bigger than me.
I thought there were
So
other
when-
reasons for the baseball.
When LeBron said it's bigger than basketball, all that spoke to me was mama mentality. Like for Kobe to be, like you said, a year out of his contract and do all these crazy deals with the agency, with the
I haven't had beer in a while. Oh,
with
last
the-
week I didn't have one.
with the
Never mind.
agency, with the coaching, with the basketball leagues that he was doing, what's that thing, the Kobe Center that he has?
The Mamba Academy?
Yeah, so you know what I mean, like all those things. And then not even a year after, maybe 6 months, the girl said, "Shut up and dribble," and LeBron was like, "Yo, that's bigger than basketball. You don't even understand."
Yeah. Well, she said it to LeBron, but
But no, that's what I'm saying. So but for LeBron to say it's bigger than basketball was because he saw what Kobe was doing. He was like, "Yo, this is bigger than us."
no.
You know what I mean? Like, not to
I don't
say
know
that
if it's the same.
not to
You're
say
taking
that
away
it's
from
all-
why he said it.
No, not to say that it's all on Kobe, but I feel like a part of it, like he saw, like Kobe made people want to play basketball just as much as Jordan made people want to play basketball. You know what I mean? So
I can say the same about LeBron.
Oh,
but that's this generation now.
no, because
But
well,
LeBron-
obviously,
was it LeBron
during
okay. So what generation does Kobe fall in?
I can't tell you if
Because Kobe's a child of Jordan.
but I can't tell you if
I
Kobe
thought
or Jordan made me.
LeBron
Kobe-
and
Kobe
LeBron and
based-
Kobe were in the same.
'Cause-
No.
Cause
Kobe is the this is what I always tell people. Everybody likes to say the Kobe era. Mind you, I'm not shitting on Kobe. I love what
Kobe
he did
was
for
just Jordan, just
watered down.
better. He
Watered down.
He took
Jordan
those
fin-
moves
Jordan-
and made them better.
Jordan finished for how many?
All right.
Because that's
We're
the
gonna do
argument. That's the
that,
argument
yes.
everybody uses
Yes,
against
we're
LeBron.
gonna do that, yes.
Okay.
I don't use that argument
Now,
against LeBron.
listen.
My only argument against LeBron was the whole King thing.
You guys are speaking Spanish right now.
He gave it.
I don't
Okay.
know what you're
That's
saying.
fine. I agree. Whatever. But has he not showed you? If anything, hold on. If anything, this Kobe thing shows you now is to appreciate the greatness in front of you while it's there.
Yeah,
This
I
is
agree.
James's thing.
What?
The idols. Yes.
So hold on. Let's stop with the side conversations in general. We can't keep doing that. Like we're over talking each other and whatnot. But with the whole Jordan thing, Jordan had the 90s, right? Towards the end of Jordan, you got this young guy named Kobe Bryant who came into the league. But Kobe played while Jordan was still in the league. You also had a young guy named Tim Duncan.
Don't forget AI.
What did AI do?
Cross Jordan.
What did AI do?
Cross Jordan.
What did AI do for the league?
Practice.
Excuse me?
Not go to practice.
Did he win anything?
Yo, hold on.
No. Time out, because that's the knock on Charles Barkley.
Because we use that argument. I know we use that. I can't say we.
Okay.
Because that's not an argument for me. Championships don't matter to me.
So
Yeah, okay, but no, that's the thing though. Time out. You
that's
say
a
championships don't matter to you, but what ones will be forever etched in history? The championships are the banners, the numbers that you have put in the Hall of Fame. You could be put in the Hall of Fame because maybe your accolades were high.
Yeah.
Do you think Iverson should have been in the Hall of Fame? Because there's a difference between what you did for your sport and what you did for the culture. There's a difference.
If there was a Philadelphia 76ers Hall of Fame,
Of course
yes.
there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
He belongs.
That's what I'm saying. So
basketball,
for me,
no.
personally, I don't bring Iverson into no conversation when we talk about greats. Because Iverson was a cultural hero.
I would say he's a great but not a legend.
No, I wouldn't even say that. Iverson was a Hun. He got the ball all types of times. Just like when people were mad at Carmelo in Denver. Just like they were mad at him in New York. He got the ball because he was their star. That's what you do. You play through your star.
Right.
So and if you didn't bring them to the promised land, that's a knock on you.
Yeah.
Just like right now, next year, if Kyrie and Durant do not win the chip, do not talk about Durant in the same breath as LeBron. Because LeBron did it with an injured Kyrie. Against the teams that won the...
You're saying next year, not this
Next year, when Durant's back.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2 years out. Let's let him get healthy.
Some time, yeah.
What I will say is that do not bring him in the same conversation as LeBron, because LeBron did it with an injured Kyrie. LeBron went and did it with an older Dwayne Wade and a Chris Bosh.
We don't think LeBron from carrying... Let's start from the beginning. Cavs, Miami, Cavs, Lakers. Yeah. You don't think he's injured?
Nah, he's just
that
probably...
man is in
No,
pain,
the dude pays over
Back
$1 million
to
in
the
his life.
subject.
$1 million a year
Jesus
to
Christ.
take care of everybody.
I tried to wait for y'all.
Where was I?
The global inspiration. I can't tell you.
No. I was going off of something because you brought up Iverson, which I hate that fucking argument because she loves that guy. He's not a great. Iverson is a cultural hero.
Yeah.
What does Iverson did accolade wise that stands up or stands out? Because you want to say assist? I'm going with Chris Paul.
Back. God damn it.
I'm going with
We were talking about branding.
Yeah.
I don't care about how.
Oh, that was
great
part of
they
it. That was
were.
part. No. Because in the branding conversation we started talking about era.
Oh yes, that's what we're talking
So
about.
the era thing is like it's Jordan. This is to me, and I feel like for a lot of people, if you don't got to know sports really. You know the names of the guys that won those years. Jordan. Then you got this young gun named Kobe Bryant, and then the dude Tim Duncan in the same time. Kobe goes and wins 5 for his career. Tim Duncan goes and wins 5. So how do you say Kobe had an error? Because when Kobe wasn't winning, Tim Duncan was winning.
Right.
Then you go to the next era. LeBron.
Can I ask a question? What did Duncan do off the court?
Personally, I don't know.
But
Duncan is that's the thing.
That's why looking in. That's why I would say.
Even in. That's why people don't like Tim Duncan or don't say the era of Tim Duncan. They say Kobe because Kobe was a character, as in like he had charisma, he had personality.
Why are you looking him up?
Where Tim Duncan was that fundamental guy. He was rock solid at the fundamentals of basketball, and he was the quiet dude that went in and handled business. He never won one, so that's fine. Stop looking him up.
That's why I was saying that.
So he was the reliable, you know what you're getting, not flashy, not fun basketball player.
Who?
Tim Duncan.
Fundamentals.
Tim Duncan won 5.
That's why
But Kobe
Pop
made
liked
you
him so
see
much.
him.
Hmm?
But Kobe made you see him. That's why I would
See Kobe?
Yeah, that's why I would.
Well, that's why they call it, like the Lakers are always known as Showtime because they were always in the big lights and playing however because they played out of LA.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm super proud of James for participating in a sports conversation.
He brought it up. Not only participating, he brought it up.
Wow.
Like he took it to sports, like
It's a
into
new
it.
year.
So, to go with the branding, off the branding thing and get done with it. I don't think we've seen individual branding until LeBron.
Okay.
Where it's a matter of, all right, I know I'm on this platform. I'm gonna take it and do this with it while I'm doing it, like while I'm playing.
Ray Lewis was good at branding though. He killed somebody that came back.
No. So stupid, man. You saw it a little bit with Kobe because when Jordan got the shoe with Nike, but Kobe kind of had something similar where he had his shoe while playing. Then he made his own Kobe Bryant line, like the Mamba stuff. You know what I mean? But like from the get go, where you kind of seen a guy taking his talents, knowing what it was and what the value of it was. LeBron kind of did it probably the earliest in his career and for the longest. You know what I mean? And did the most with it so far. He's not even in the second half, like done with basketball yet, and still already has, agencies going and all that other stuff.
He's
Movie,
not in the second half.
as in like he's done with basketball.
I think no. Oh, career. Okay.
Yeah. No. When the career is done, you're done. It's the second half of his life,
Yeah.
where it's like you're done with basketball. Now
How
what are
old
you
is he?
doing? Huh?
How old is?
LeBron is probably 33, 34.
Yeah, maybe Ollie's like our age.
Damn,
Maybe
motherfucker. He got like 2 more years and he's done. The dude like preserved his body so well. Like anyways.
Yeah, the science is there.
So let's go on to the Aaron Hernandez thing because you did bring up the CTE. So we all watched the documentary pretty much?
I did not, but you guys talked
Didn't
about it.
mind it? Okay.
I watch things after I hear about it anyway, so
Okay.
I don't care.
I'm gonna let one of you guys run this one because I feel like I can talk.
Corey can write it. I can answer questions and shit though.
Me too. I'll answer mad questions, bro.
Alright, so you guys watched it.
The
right?
whole thing.
The whole
All three of them.
Alright.
all free.
So,
300 and something.
do you guys want to start with the case, or do you guys want to start with the person? Because there's two things.
You
here.
choose. You decide.
Yo, you're running this. Let's go.
The what?
The case, or do you want to talk about the?
Oh,
the
sorry.
case,
Hold
or
on.
do
The
wanna
thing
talk
that you
about
said James had.
the idols. Let's talk about that first. We can do that
The
before
idols?
that.
Idols?
Yeah.
We can do that first.
Was that about like sports?
It's
No,
about-
Why the fuck you started this sports podcast?
No, the idol thing
Okay.
is
It was brought by Kobe, but
Is it
I'm okay with it.
beneficial or detrimental to idolize somebody?
Jaeger bomb now? I don't think so. We're talking, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, is it beneficial or detrimental to idolize somebody? I think it's detrimental. Corey thinks it's beneficial.
I think both.
The idols.
I only
To
say that
idolize a person.
someone else.
Yeah.
You think
so
what?
you think it's
I think it's
Detrimental.
detrimental.
You think
Yeah.
it's detrimental?
Yeah,
Because
I
that's the
agree.
cap, right?
yeah.
As in, like,
You have to reckon-
take your idol, you learn from their mistakes, you build.
No,
off of them.
no.
Do
when
because
you-
people
deify
learn
them.
from the mistakes though? Do they
Well,
just
okay.
see the good stuff?
Can I say this?
Oh.
he didn't even know.
Yeah, okay. Stupid.
I was like, oh.
When you idolize somebody, you wanna. I'm talking to you actually. When you idolize somebody, you want to be like them. You want to be that person. So what they do is your cap at that moment. I hate to say it like, where
That's
they're
all
at.
you'll get, yeah.
Where they're at is all you get.
Yeah.
That's why I say detrimental. At the same time, you aspire to become something greater than what you are at that moment.
But
That's why I
because of the
say.
idol.
That's why I
because
say
of
it's
the
good.
idol, right.
Now, me being me, bitch, I got the pride of the rival of the gods.
Yo,
So my idol is the status of something, not
that's
a
what
person.
I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, that's not what he asked. What he
That's
asked,
why it's okay to idolize.
no,
No, because you're still idolizing a
human.
But
There's
so
a
what?
limit.
Exactly. You're giving yourself a limit. Like let's say this. Ready? Let's say your idol is Joe Rogan. You idolize him because of the way he carries himself and what he did with the platform of podcasting.
Okay.
You know what he's done, so you follow the blueprint.
Right.
Your most or happiest or highest chance is of similar or
It's getting close to what
his
he
numbers.
did. Right.
similar or to the numbers.
But
That's it. That's what if you idolize him, that's what you would want.
Cause you made him a god.
For you to want to be better than, now you are no longer idolizing. You are putting yourself on the same
You respect him.
plane and platform as him. So now you respect him, and now you feel you're a peer of his.
But
Exactly.
that's because he.
To start off that's usually what happens though. You start off idolizing first, and then once you start to gain that traction and get the numbers, once you're similar, now you're like, me and Joe Rogan are at the same numbers.
But so, cause all right. So here's my thing. My thing is more so of like.
Oh, you know what? Let me put it like this. I'm sorry to
the
cut you off.
flaws, but like so
Rappers.
Well, no,
This is where he's gonna.
perfect.
Okay.
Go ahead. The
My
flaws.
thing was the flaws. So like, it's not about what you're doing and how you grow from that. It's more so the mistakes you made and how you show people to go from that. So like, for example, y'all know I love fucking Tech Nine.
You love fucking Tech Nine?
Oh wow.
Suicide Letters by Tech Nine. You know, like to see somebody who was that low where he was like,
Oh my god.
he's like pretty much, I just want to die. I don't want to live here. I don't care about my kids.
Yo, can you put that clear?
It's just.
This just in. Tech Nine gay? Question mark.
Shut up.
No.
So like to me to know that somebody can be that low because of all the bullshit that he's done that he lists in that song, right, and then grow from that, right? How can I not idolize that?
I think you're taking it in too small of an instance there. In the sense where it's like you're pinpointing a specific point, as in.
Well,
Okay, because like for me, I'm gonna try and get through this without getting emotional.
Okay.
For me, the biggest thing, a person who I seen, not a matter of idolizing, but learning as he went, was that.
Mm-hmm.
I seen where he was at when he first came into our lives.
But no, honestly, that's the boy's first idol. Eventually, you
Time out.
out of it. You know what I
know,
mean?
but that's the thing. It wasn't a matter of he was my idol. I just knew he was our father. Because young, when did we really, you know what I mean? We didn't have that kind of relationship at first. It wasn't until he hit the lows that we saw and then build off of those that I realized, oh shit, people can change.
It's idolizing, though.
Not idolizing. I am, what's the word you use about religion? That you're not a believer or a denier, but you are.
What, like you're an atheist?
No, like when you're just someone who watches, like you view.
Yeah, I know.
Like I can acknowledge, hey, at the end, yo, Jesus was real or God was real.
Yeah.
Like that's all. Like that's what I was. I was the bystander in a sense where I was just like, I saw him change.
Yeah.
I can see people can change. What's up?
So do you feel like do you feel like that's more respecting him or idolizing him?
Well,
Me?
In general.
In that situation, I think it was just a matter of me observing. That's
Do
what
you
it is.
feel like there's
That's the word. Huh?
There's a difference between respect and idolization?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because what Corey does.
Because you can respect somebody and not really care about what they do.
Right.
Idolizing is that you care about what they've done and how you want to be
All right, so
similar.
I'll show you the difference. Derek
It's mad sexy.
called out that
Cool. True.
that there were
Got a little gut, but it'll go.
that Derek didn't
cool.
ignore the
It's
flaws.
sexy.
Derek was like, these are the flaws. He
Uh-huh.
and like he's responsible for them, and he overcame them. Then there's the Messiah story.
No, I point out the flaw.
No, you focus
And I
on
learned off
you
the
focus
flaw.
the overcoming. You said he was suicidal, but
Right.
you never said if he put himself there.
But he
You see?
overcame it.
Okay, but how did he get there?
How did he get there?
He tells you.
Which
In
is
the
what
other,
though?
With
But
other songs,
But
so
you
like,
ignore
so
it.
like,
You say, "Oh, he was suicidal," and he
fuck
got
the
over it.
industry. So like, for example, like in Suicide Letters, like there's nobody wants to do a song with me because my hair has died.
You can mute your mic while you guys talk.
So like my hair has died. All
I
this
don't want
shit.
you guys to feel
Everyone's
you guys
fuck
can't
with
speak.
me. Pinocchio. Fuck the industry. What's the other song?
I don't know,
Einstein. All
You
this
referred to fuck the industry 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 fuck the industries.
What? Oh, I didn't know that.
Shit.
Okay, well, yeah, this is actually a good conversation with like idolizing and whatnot because I feel it's okay to like have someone you like look up to, but to idolize is where it starts to get dangerous and limited. Limiting.
But okay,
I feel like I said that word wrong.
Yeah,
I think I said it right.
So to
Yeah,
idolize,
there's a ceiling.
there's a word in the definition.
Yo,
of
she did this
idolize.
like 3 times. Like, yo, okay.
There's a word in idolize.
In the dictionary.
Yeah, in the dictionary.
Idle, which means you're sitting at a standstill.
It means God.
No.
Idle means
but
God.
it's with blind devotion.
Time out. To sit
I
idle
can't
means what?
say that it's
Stay
blind
still.
devotion because
So
if
it's
I
not
Right.
if
That's how I would take it in the sense that I
and
want to
you're
grow.
bad,
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So if you see the good and bad, yeah.
Right.
But
Because
Then
it's
you're not idolizing
but
them.
I
No.
idolize the growth. That's what
This
I
is
like.
So you
this
look at
is
it
after a
it's-
conversation me and him had already about this. That he's saying this because before
Yeah.
Because I sat and thought about
he
it.
was
you know
talking
what I
about
mean?
Tupac and he ignored the rape allegations, the gang related stuff.
Because
He
if you
ignored it.
idolize it.
You see,
Hold on.
but he ignored it.
But if you look,
She said mad quick too.
No, because if you listen and you read about it and you see the rape allegation, they said that he never touched the girl.
No,
Yo,
but-
hold on, stop
we're
looking at
talking
her in her
about
eyes like that.
We're talking about one thing, but the rape allegations might
It's
not.
the rest you want to do.
Fuck him. No.
But Corey, you ignored a lot of the stuff that he put himself in situations. You see,
Right.
you ignore it,
Nah,
and that's
I don't like
idolization. When you ignore that they
So-
put themselves in these bad spots and focus on
So
the
he
fact
he's
that
mad
idolizes
smart,
Tupac.
bro.
Of course.
because what he does is he
Time
talks
out, hold
about
on.
So
At a
what's
certain
better
point in
word?
your life, everybody had an idol. In general, like who you wanted to be like.
No,
So what's a
I
better
agree.
word than idolize?
A better word?
Admire.
Well, no, to admire or like what's the other one when to champion someone?
No, because champion would be just
No.
like idolizing.
Not at all,
Like,
because
idolizing
to
the
champion someone just means like that's someone
Look,
that
he's
you
the
would
top
want in your
tier.
Look,
corner.
for me,
He's
I
the top,
respect
just
and I
like-
acknowledge
yeah.
people's achievements,
Well, respect
but
to
I
it,
hold
yeah.
them accountable for what they did. I don't make Messiah stories,
Yeah, because
and like.
well, that's
and-
when you like she said. That's when you start talking like someone's shit. I can speak on this personally.
Oh.
There are two. Well, whatever. In my life, I have the syndrome or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where I feel like I cannot falter. There's reason behind that. It's not a matter of that I. It's not a matter.
Derek
What,
doesn't need to take the test.
They're mathing.
But Derek,
They were there.
but-
All I saw was her hands mad quick, so I was like,
But
"What?"
Derek, you are in a funny way idolize yourself. You deified yourself already. You
I did,
rival,
yeah.
You rival the gods.
Yeah.
Name a god who gives up.
No,
It's
but
not a
time
thing.
out. The problem is,
So-
and here's the thing: is that it came up so young for me, and there's times that you can talk to mom, and I'll tell her, I'll tell you guys the honest truth. How many times she had to sit me down? How many times she had to tell me it's okay for you to be human, for you to make mistakes, and I every time told her I can't because I have too many people already looking up to me and counting on me. It wasn't a matter of me stating this just because I thought it. No, these people told me this. Be it people of the same age, be it people older than me, people younger than me. So I never had that shot or chance to be just Derek.
Oh, so the downside of being an idol.
Yeah, but hold on, and I don't want it to seem like I'm being like pompous or fucking what do you call that shit?
Who gives a fuck?
No,
Talk,
no.
Talk your, but you can only speak your story. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying? Yo,
Brianna's over here like yes.
Derek, 2020,
say it.
ready?
Yeah.
The year of no longer fucking apologizing.
Yeah,
for your-
I'm not
for-
apologizing.
No,
What
but
I'm
you're-
saying
but
is-
what you're doing is you're defending.
No, I'm staying human.
You said
No,
I'm
you
not.
lack
look,
humanization when you
no,
tell
time
yourself,
out.
yo, I can't cry because
Derek,
too many people.
Let
No,
me
not that
point
no.
out something. Let me point out something. You literally just gave a story of your life
Yep.
and said, "I'm not trying to sound pompous." Nigga, it was a part of your life. How was that pompous?
Yeah, no.
So why are you defending a experience you lived through?
No, because what was coming next? Why I didn't want to sound pompous.
Ooh, I'm excited. Go.
Yeah, because I am that nigga. That's why.
I got comments.
Go ahead.
Alright, so all of what you're talking about.
Remember, my girlfriend is right there.
Hit on him if you
She don't
want,
care.
bro.
She don't
I
care.
mean, I like vaginas.
He's a
so-
good
Oh
time.
my god!
You're the ugly
Alright,
one.
alright. So everything you're talking about, how you feel like you can't do this, can't do that you feel bad for being this type of personality in general. A lot of the Enneagram does touch on that. It's because you shouldn't have like sadness in your life or feel like you're bad because you have these qualities. That's who you are. Do you. They'll do them. Everybody does their own number. We just gotta respect and know how to interact with each other. Because there should be no shame. There should be no, like, I'm bad because.
Okay.
A lot of the world, especially in America, we are all fixated on these labels and these things, and this makes us who we are. Outside of culture, like, culture should be respected and identified.
Yep.
But outside of that, no one should label me because I've had a specific trauma that means
Yeah,
this.
child.
That doesn't affect who I am in my core.
Yeah.
Shouldn't affect your number and who you are as a core.
Right.
You know, so it's all about like learning yourself.
A thing I
Yeah,
experienced,
alright
not
with
who
it.
I am. Right.
Yeah, because like before I knew about the Enneagram, I had so much social anxiety. I hated going out. I hated talking to people. I felt like I was awkward. I felt all this stuff, and then I realized it was just who I was in my core. And now, since learning about the
You
Enneagram and
opened
like knowing that, I'm 100% like, oh, that's fine. That's just me. It's okay. I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
That's
And
fine.
I haven't had
How long
anxiety
have you
since.
That's why we were like, you want to be in front of the camera? You're like, nah, fuck you. I'm alright.
I'm
I know
chilling.
my limit.
Right. Yeah.
how long have you been?
I've known about Enneagram for probably 2 years. I mistyped myself for the first 2 years because I was in school.
Word.
So like I thought I was a different number because how I performed in school and what that meant to me. But then being outside of school now and being able to be myself and who I am in my entirety, I've shown my real number, and that is the number that I truly identify with.
Yep.
I got this book on Christmas. So it's been since Christmas, just like avidly reading, listening to podcasts, listening to different perspectives, figuring out, talking to people who are different numbers.
So it's heavily on. It's all personality based.
Yeah, I mean.
So I can see how you easily can get lost in that.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, identifying.
Yeah, but it's different from the Enneagram is different from different personality tests.
Yeah, like that horoscope
because it doesn't
bullshit.
create a box for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like typical other personality tests are like, this is who you are, and don't like.
Yeah.
Live in that room. Like,
right. It's like, hey, this is you in a box.
Yeah, it threw
Happy
like
birthday,
those like 3 personalities at you.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
You
what's
got
awesome
an
about it.
average, a high, a low, but then you have
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah, you have wings.
Wait, what?
Unicorn.
So
There's
when
all
you see
sorts
the
of shit.
numbers,
we
like
don't have
the
to
ones that
sit and
the
just have
bold
like a
numbers,
moment,
Those
like a
aren't
time
your
with
wings.
it.
Those are your in stress.
right?
and
But the
let
numbers
go.
that connect to the other numbers, so those like for example, mine said 925.
Your wings are directly. So if you're a 6,
But
or
I say
whatever.
I agree with the 6.
So if you're a 6,
I agree
your
with that.
wings.
What are
are
we gauging
8
out of
and-
10?
No.
No, it's not a
It's
gauge though.
stress. Okay. So it depends on the picture. You gotta kind of.
Guys, we'll post like the diagram itself.
But they're all different diagrams.
It's one diagram
Yeah,
or
there's
multiple?
one diagram.
Oh, he's
This
5
is
and
just showing
7.
it. Yeah.
So can
So,
you
like, if
post,
you're-
find that and post it on the thing so
Yeah.
that people can see what we're talking about?
So like if your essence is a 6,
Just gonna type it.
your wings will either be 7 or 5. They're the numbers that are closest to your number.
Okay.
But in stress, you will display as a 3,
Did you order?
which means you want to achieve a lot of stuff. And then in times of when you finally let go and get to your highest self, you will be the peacemaker.
Okay.
So you'll be like if there's levels that you have. This is a really in-depth, crazy ass thing, but it shows you like, hey, you're getting into your dark spot. Notice these red flags. How can you get yourself out of those red flags so you don't have those blind spots, so you don't have those automatic reactions to damage the relationship with someone who's not your normal number. Like if you are interacting with you guys have different numbers, and if you guys have a
So the
fight.
last numbers you said you're like perfect self, I guess.
So your
Or your
essence.
complete self, right?
So your essence is the number that you got when you took the test and you read the little general description and was like, that's me. That's your essence. That's who you always will be. It doesn't matter about your trauma. Doesn't matter about your past or your future.
What the noise?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Huh?
This is a background noise.
Oh, okay.
It's just static. We went under a tunnel.
So your essence can't be changed or altered. It can just be who you are in yourself. But you will display as the different number wherever you're connected with those lines. Whatever number you're connected to, that will be either your in stress number or your let go number. Your highest self. I don't know what technically it's called, but it's like when you let go and you're like, ah, amazing. That number.
Can you tell me what a 2 was again, just in case I forgot?
Helper.
No.
The
Two
helper.
is helper.
2 is a helper, yeah.
Yeah, 2 is a helper and a giver. So if you are 5, your number. Where did you get 2 from?
That's my last number.
Oh,
It's 5
no,
and
that
2.
was the 3 numbers that you possibly could be. That's not related to your number.
Yes.
So you display as a 5.
Yeah, I'm a 5.
So you're a 5. So in stress, I believe, I will have to double check. I believe you show as a number 7, which I'm not exactly sure what that means. I haven't read through all the chapters. And 7 for this.
That's the
game.
fuck you anagram one. So if I'm a 7, if I'm a 7, get the fuck away from me. I don't
I
like you.
so thought you were gonna be a 9, but the 5 makes sense.
That just shows how much you know me.
Yeah.
No, I didn't read 5
Oh.
She said, yeah, she agrees with
Yeah, let me see. Hold on.
because I didn't read 5, and when I read it, I agree 100%. He is at war with himself, and I had to school him.
I tell him that all the time.
6.
Hell yeah. What did you say?
Court.
What do you call me? Sounds struggling.
Yeah. I know. I say you said your happiness, bro.
I
Yeah.
had more.
No, but
I
that's true.
definitely do.
Yeah.
Cool.
You do.
But that
I could be in a
subconscious-
bad situation. I'm like, let's
So,
fuck this up.
See, honestly, you were like, he's a 6, but like when you just told me he's an 8 when he's in stress, so is he really a 6?
Corey's a whore.
Corey self-sabotages his happiness.
But yeah, I fucking
For real.
self-sabotage everything. Light a
It could be like the
glad that I
best
should watch
thing.
it fucking burn and walk the fuck away.
Okay,
It's
Corey could have everything he asked for.
I want to
Like,
say something.
I don't deserve this.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this podcast, before we started, what did I say to her?
She needed a mic.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just showing you how contagious it is. It's
Yeah.
just general
And it's
conversation.
it's so
So
easy.
natural.
I'm
So
just
what?
not an on-camera person.
What I will say, it's just as easy as you are able to sit here and talk to me.
Yeah.
Is what you and I would have, or
Yeah,
you and
exactly.
Brianna, or whoever you're talking to.
Yeah.
You know, I'll even produce the next show, and you and Brianna sit there and talk about it. This is super interesting. It's a
Yeah.
very interesting
And we
thing
can,
to talk about.
I
We
mean,
can
if it's
also
something
talk
you
about
want
sex.
to.
Like oh shit, yeah, sex is
Um,
fun, bro. It's like
I
super
know.
fun.
Yeah.
And
High five
It's all right. No.
fine. Yo, and I'll tell you, it's like the best 6 pumps you'll get in your life. Anyways,
And then
no, so
then make him a
conversation-wise,
sandwich and he's taking a
I
nap.
think it's
Shit.
something you should consider. You should
Okay,
consider
yeah.
coming on and sitting on that side one-on-one with somebody, and y'all just talk about it.
It's
I
progress.
haven't done the test, so if you want, I can wait and then we do the test live.
I mean, we can do it. This is kind of a thing that
I
could
do.
be
I
ongoing
do
if
read
you
on
guys
like a
wanna-
3rd grade level, so
He says that.
He's being generous to himself. too.
right. You
That's
know what I'm
the fucked up
saying?
thing.
Yeah,
And when
yeah.
he reads out loud,
Mad quick,
fuck.
bro. I'll be out here mad quick. Dead ass beat.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are my Tims?
Where'd you come from?
That's what
So,
Tim
yeah.
Yeah.
It all just depends.
I just find it personally to be like I want to know the
It's so
history of it all the way.
fascinating. Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I mean,
Like how much
this is a
time
huge
and
fucking
resources
book,
they put in
dude.
there.
So,
I find it cute that Derek thinks what he does is actually called reading.
You better watch your mouth. Don't be attacking him like
Oh,
that.
He
shit.
just passes you the
Oh
book.
shit! Hold on, come on.
that's a challenger right there. There ain't this
What's up?
No, he
Wanna
just,
fight? We can fight.
he
So,
just said,
um,
bro, what's this what he said?
What? Oh, we were talking about the idol thing.
Yeah, you talk about the.
Yeah, no, I want
pressure
to
you put
hear
in.
other people's thoughts on that.
No, I was
because
kind
I
of
wanna
curious that you
What? Well, I'm tired of it being about me.
No, because you were
I'm
talking.
not though. I'm lying.
You didn't finish about the pressures you had growing
Oh
up.
yeah, no,
You
no,
didn't
no.
finish that.
Yeah, no. The pressures that I had though came like they were.
'Cause it's-
Some were natural, some weren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Where
it was
like,
fascinating. You talk about the mental toll it was taking.
yeah, but let me throw this out there. You gotta realize at the same time though, like personally, and I don't know if y'all feel the same. I do feel like with a lot of the shit that happened while we were young, I was thrown in as the oldest by proxy. I feel like a lot of shit that came our way went through me first. And I was the younger one. I mean, yeah, I confided in you guys in like certain situations, but when shit arose with our parents, I was the one that they came to or yelled at or did first. In the sense where
I can see that with Dad.
Dad was on you. No
Me and
shit,
Dad
Dad was on.
were at
war.
Time out, hold on. Dad was on you more. You
Because
guys
he
bumped
knew-
heads more.
I feel like
me and
I
Dad
feel
That's
like,
what it was.
I feel like Dad.
Like time out. Like right now.
No, at one
Time
point.
out right now. Who is the head of the state and stuff for the house for mom and dad?
Now you.
See what I'm saying? Where it's like I had 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm not. That's not shots at you. I'm just saying that's what it was.
Right.
Do you? I don't even know.
Look, I know my
hold on.
lane, and I'm not.
I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation in front of Ma. I think we were drinking that night when we were at the house. I asked, how did it come that I was the one you just chose? You didn't even ask me. You just chose, right? And we were drinking. And I think Ma said, I couldn't choose Dad because he's gonna be a mess. I said, and I'm supposed to be okay.
Right.
Or I couldn't choose your brothers because everybody else is gonna be a mess, and I'm supposed to be okay.
You,
Like,
but she chose you.
Oh.
She chose you because you can compartmentalize people, and she knows that.
Dad, you really got the. So listen, man.
No, he can.
Bring it in,
bitch!
Bring it in.
Protect himself.
Shit,
Now, hold on. I don't want
No,
Seriously,
look at the
you-
just
law.
conversation between us. I don't want it to be like that. I was lessening whatever situations. Like I don't know what situations y'all had behind closed doors. All I'm speaking on or telling y'all is what I went through and observed for myself. You know what I mean? Like, is it?
Well, of course. Like I won't ever speak on your story.
You
'cause I
better
don't
not,
know.
because I'll fight you.
I mean, even though you're a little bitch. And
You
if
little
I'm-
Well, what? We really about to fight.
All right,
You
number
just
8.
called him a bitch 5 minutes ago.
Listen.
Who?
Does that
You
apply
just
to
called him
you?
a bitch 5
No,
minutes ago.
I was like, bitch.
Still bitch.
No.
Ooh, I
Hold
started
on.
with that shit
I
going
know.
on.
Wait, time out.
But wait,
Brianna,
I have
hold
a
up.
question.
I want to point out something. I call him a bitch, and his girl needs to
guess
step in
what?
and
The
defend
worst
him.
part about it-
That
that's
sounds
my
like a
favorite
bitch to me.
Yeah.
What?
Sit down. Let's time out. Let's ring it in. We're getting a little too wild. Let's ring it in.
This is fun.
It is, but we don't want it to sound like shit in
All right, I
people's
have a
ears.
question.
What's up?
This ain't my ears.
Who do you guys feel like
Oh, time out.
acts the most like
Time out.
what?
Is this family oriented?
Yeah.
You coming
Go
to my
ahead, go
family,
ahead. No,
bro?
no, go
No,
ahead.
like who do you like if you had to choose, who do you feel like acts the most like dad and who
Oh, good
ask
question.
Damn.
Because
That's a
I
good
haven't
one.
I haven't answered because I have an inside source.
I'm more like dad.
Damn it.
That's what you guys say?
Yeah, he called me the other day.
I'm more like my dad.
Dad called you the other day?
Yeah.
I don't know because
I think I'm more like. I think we're all.
I feel Derek's more reasonable than Dad.
No, I mean
Like you guys, you have a lot of Dad's qualities, but I can say like you're also like
my smoothness.
yeah.
Ma was
Yeah.
a player,
No,
dog. Don't let her play.
For real.
Can you tag her in this? Call her, make her watch this last
No,
these couple
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Let me call
Nah,
I
her.
think
nah,
I think Derek's you're probably
I'll put it
the
on
most
TV.
balanced.
Battling
They
mix,
can watch
right?
it
You're
together.
right.
Yeah, right now would be like, hell no.
Okay, so wait.
Which is funny because
Hold on, let's go around the table. So who you think is more like Ma? Who you think is more like Dad?
Alright, so I got Marcus more like Ma.
Me too. No. Yeah.
Ma
Yeah.
tells like Dad.
What? Where?
I'm gonna drink that.
The anger, Montel got an anger to him.
that's why I say you're like both.
Yeah.
Because they can't stand each other. No,
I got you as a mix. I got me as a mix, and James is.
I don't know.
This is James.
That don't count. He's Ma.
Yeah, I say it's
Yeah.
mine.
Your Ma
I got us as the mix.
with your own mix like who you're more like. I see more of Ma, but there's a lot of James in there. Like you went and got your own identity, meaning like I tell her all the time. I base my shit off of what I learned from you. You know what I mean?
I think we both do.
So it's like it's not even like a father figure kind of deal. It's more like I know I did my mental growing, like my
Bro,
impression.
he's on Leonardo.
My
He's on Leonardo.
No, I can't even say that because Leonardo was the leader and I'm the leader.
Master Splinter.
No, you rebelled against him.
I did not at all. That's the guy I talked to.
That's not like my father.
He's like,
He took.
Alright, James.
Leonardo.
What?
Go.
So if
Label
you
all
had,
your brothers.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't know why I went for the last
Like,
two.
I'm waiting
Ma,
for something.
both. Montel's probably.
I think Ma.
No, see,
I
here's
think
the thing.
Montel's like Ma because
No,
Ma got that little attitude
see,
too.
here's the thing.
Ma has that little spice to her.
Yo,
Montel-
no,
Ma, time out.
Have you ever
Explain
seen
why
Dad
I
go
say
sassy?
Dad.
I'm sorry. Let's not overtalk James. Go ahead.
I know. I would say Dad too, but not for the anger. Just because like the way he responds when it doesn't go his way.
That's what I mean.
You see what I'm saying?
That's Ma.
No, cause
Yeah, true. Dad don't have emotion. Unless he's drinking.
But that's what.
And that's why I say I'm dad because his motherfucker told me that shit.
But that's
I
what.
was like, I'll never drink again.
Dad won't tell you he's like mad at you.
But
You know
that's-
what I mean?
'cause
Like,
Dad-
this
like
dude-
Dad.
Dad
No.
will take
'cause
the
That was
world.
before.
No.
Even now?
Like if
I think he's
if,
down.
if
he's
you
open. He's
no
way more
tell
open.
Let's don't
tell
overtalk.
Mom.
Don't overtalk.
He's
Go ahead.
way
He's
more
over.
open. Like if you make Dad mad,
Yeah.
Hello.
you might not. He might not talk to you for a few days.
I'm coming right now.
He has to go through it
Decompress.
himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I see that in Montel too. He has to go through it himself and he has to break it down.
I don't think so.
Like,
I don't think so. You say that, but
and then
I
Marcus
really-
is
time out.
definitely neither one because he's just the baby. He's been baby to the point
Yeah,
where like he's neither
I think
because he
he's-
doesn't
yeah.
know who he is. Let's be honest.
all right. So
Your turn. Oh wait,
Yeah,
hold
no,
on,
no,
you-
no.
hold on. Who do you?
yeah, for yourself.
Me,
Yeah.
I
Think
that's like asking
That's hard
the
for me.
ocean.
That's hard
That's
for
like
me.
asking the ocean how big is it? Like it can't see itself.
I'm ocean baby. Well,
I
I said I see Dad for me.
like yeah. I mean yeah, but you're
Between Ma and Dad, I think I really.
But you also
I mean,
missed
like Dad
half
more.
of you because everyone just said you're part mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
true,
saying?
Yeah.
So I can say like and out of
And you think you favored?
if you no, because if you offend me, I think I respond like ma, like oh that was personal. Like how could you say that to me? You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
could it, but
First
then
of all-
like when it comes to my emotions, I'm like Dad, like I'm not really gonna tell you like oh shit, like I'm offended by it.
No.
So I respond to it like mom, but I show it like dad.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so you got a mix of some sort.
And but
It might not be 50-50, but there's
Right,
a mix.
right,
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I think you. Honestly, I think we all got. Okay, James, like I said, you're a mix, but I think you favor Ma.
I can see it.
But you also introduce your own intellect in there. You can't. We can't discredit that because
It's
your
different.
thought process is different.
It's different. Yeah.
I think I think you and Montel are more like Ma, in the sense that Ma leads emotion first.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like when this is why I say
With
this.
me, I can see what you're saying.
With Ma, she says someone's cute because their personality. If she don't like you by
That's
your
just how you say they ugly.
No. If Ma don't like you by your personality, you're ugly.
But
to her.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And I'm like, that bitch is bad. Like, what are you talking about?
See, I get it.
So,
She nasty though. So.
Now, when you said with Montel's anger, y'all, do you forget how gully Ma is? Ma is a very angry person. It's just that Dad somewhat or sometimes overshadowed her when he was angry. You know what I mean? It wasn't a matter that Ma didn't get angry. No, Dad was just a different kind of angry. Yeah. And that's not even drinking. Like, do y'all motherfuckers remember Spider Style? Like when he was fighting the guy and he was like, I was like,
what the hell?
We were in the back seat. I'm sitting there. I was like, oh my god.
I'm like, don't
Oh
nobody
my
do
god.
that.
Wait, who'd you say?
For me or
Like.
So James, I said James is a mix of both, but favors Ma. But you have to also introduce his intellect into it, like his thought process. I said Corey is like Ma. What happened?
I'll keep my own thing.
No,
I'm saying he's five. Everything he's explaining is
Is
completely
it
five.
5?
Yeah.
Corey is like Ma, but and Montel I think are both more so Ma because Ma she leads with emotion first, but she also has that gully side. So like when you get mad, But like same thing with Montel. I don't think Montel has the rage and anger you're talking about that Dad has. I don't think Montel has that. How many times has Montel gotten physical off of pure anger? The only time I know Montel got physical, someone pressed him. And not saying he wouldn't. Like, Montel's the kind of guy, if we argue, we argue. If it's going to get physical, it's going to get physical.
Right.
He's not going to push it to get physical because that's not him.
Right.
All right.
And that's not a knock at him. Because
Right.
the time you got to think, the motherfucker that was testing him physically stepped into his space.
But that's why I'm saying
That's
he's more
that-
like Dad.
That's Ma.
No,
That's Ma.
because
I can see that.
if it wasn't in a physical
Let me tell you this.
thing, Montel would have. If it was like just with anybody else, Montel lets it bubble and boil over.
Yeah.
That's what Dad does.
No,
Ma reacts.
no.
in the
No,
moment.
Dad won't let you get in
Dad
his
don't
face.
get there.
Won't let you
Dad
get in
Dad
his
don't.
face.
How many times have you seen Dad hem up his own family?
Yeah,
That's what I
but
was gonna
And
say.
it wasn't. Time out. It wasn't even off of no aggressive shit. It just came. Whatever was in his head, he went off of it.
no, because I remember the conversation.
No.
I remember the phone calls and conversations of it building up.
No,
the shit talking.
you're talking
everything.
about something. I'm talking at Franklin Park Zoo. We were
I-
all at a family event.
That's what I'm
There
talking
was
about too.
no.
They were saying
There was-
bye to each other.
Exactly. There was no argument going on.
There was no
Right,
arguing.
but there was a whole other
That
thing
no. What
going
you're
on.
talking about is the shit that Mon and her sister had. That's different. I know exactly what you're talking about. And Dad, neither side I feel was wrong because they was both defending their women.
Right.
I don't think it should have got
There.
as aggressive or whatever as it went. At the same time,
Too much.
just because you're defending your woman doesn't mean you're right.
I think we're talking about a different conversation.
It's happened like 7 times, so
No,
you
I-
most likely are.
No, because I'm not talking. I'm
Talk about the
talking.
same thing, but maybe at a different time.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
no, you're good. I was just seeing if anything. So you guys think Montel is what?
Corey said Dad.
But when I spoke, he started agreeing with me.
So I can see, but
Because I think he went with Dad's
Alright,
anger,
so-
but Dad's anger is a
but
different kind of anger.
He has like more so Ma's like demeanor most of the time, but like get him mad, you can see Dad. You know what I mean? Like
I don't see it.
I mean, I've been here for 15 years.
Damn it.
Right? Okay.
What?
Don't tell him.
Outside source.
Not dating
Why-
though,
why
guys.
would
Not dating.
you-
That's
Go ahead, go ahead.
Why would you let him know that?
Everybody got defensive.
He's gonna be like, shit, I dealt with this for 15
I'm
years.
saying, for the record, I've been here a long time.
Talking to your mic.
They can
I don't care. Talking to your mic.
That is so weird. Like,
So look at us. Just
you
talk.
make it up, okay, it's cool.
Just talk.
Anyways, okay. I feel like, from knowing you guys, I feel like from an outside perspective, I don't know all of the stuff that you guys have been through and grew up and the certain sides of mom and dad that you guys have seen.
Right.
I'm not pretending that I know that stuff.
Better not.
But I do know some stuff. I've seen some stuff. So
You're
I
saying
feel
that
like
very ominous. Like,
Right?
I feel like it's Marcus and Montel are Ma. I feel like Derek is Dad. James is both, and I feel like Corey is both, but leans more towards Ma because of the emotional stuff.
Yeah, I think that's where I was going. But we're different in the sense with James is that I think we have to acknowledge James is his creativity was a pillar for our family in general. Like we can't say that it wasn't. Like we all played whatever games he was thinking of and whatever. Like we grew up. Like watch this, Brianna. What's my favorite planet?
Your favorite planet? Mars.
James, what planet was I the king of? Growing up, you see what I'm saying? Like we would play games like that. You know what I mean? Like different things where it was like it was so far fetched and outside the box. Whereas like sometimes I almost felt like I was leading two different lives growing up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas like I had to be this person for a group of people.
But you could be you.
But I could joke or be however when we would play whatever games and stuff at home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even a matter of like being a certain way for people that weren't family. Like I'd have to be a certain way for other people to be alright.
Yeah, when you come home, you turn that shit off.
No, even at home,
it was only.
That's what I'm saying. When you come home, you should be able to turn that shit off.
You should be able to. Sometimes you just gotta.
It's exhausting keeping that shit on all day.
Yeah. But yeah, like I mean, I don't feel like it was a knock at anybody like to say who's like which parent.
That was fun.
I hate the fact that we all agree that I'm like that.
I think you're both.
No, but so the reason why I brought that up is because
the time he grabbed me on my shoulder, it was like, you're like me.
No, because
you feel when you drink.
No,
I said, I don't need to hear this right now.
No, he called me Friday and we had a whole conversation.
How's Derek?
So he was saying how that.
Oh, that was a scream. I was like, the fuck?
He was saying how, in general, he knows how he is. So that's how he's like, when I'm like that, when I'm mad and I feel like I was betrayed or however it was, I stay to myself. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Y'all had a conversation?
Had a whole conversation.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, he called me.
Dad talks to people?
Dad likes me.
I say that all the time.
Wait. I get hugs now. Full on hugs, not just
the first time, or like one of the couple times, like when we first like brought Kaylee around, he was like pat Brown on the shoulder while Kaylee was little. Huh?
You did good.
No. While Kaylee's little and Brown was holding Kaylee, he'd pat Brown and be looking at Kaylee, and he'd be like, "She's nice." I like her. I'm like, wait, what kind of fucking compliment was that? He's saying it to Kaylee though, but just stating it. And I'm like, wait, say you love her. Say you love Kaylee, or you know what I mean? Like she's pretty or something. He's like, I like her. She's nice.
Man, whenever I hear stuff like that though,
it just left. That's like we was in the hallway leaving.
I think that's where I get that from.
I had a tough conversation.
Somebody could be like, oh. Yeah, I like your shirt. Thank you. That's cool. Like,
yeah, right.
Cool.
I didn't even gonna tell you where I bought it.
Like that is the most.
Don't accept compliments well.
I don't know how to.
I don't either.
Because I feel like if I go.
You think so much in the six, but everything he's saying.
Because like I feel like if I go too far into it, like they're like, oh, this guy's way too conceited.
Can you have similar? I'm conceited as fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Well, go for you.
Says here, dude.
I'm just confident.
No, read that.
No. Growing up as a kid.
Test first.
Some people would tell me, "Oh, you're conceited." I'm like, "No, I'm just confident in what I got."
What's wrong with that?
But it comes off as conceited.
Like,
that's your feelings.
I remember the first time I heard the word stupidity, I was like, "Oh, Derek."
Fuck you.
No, Stupidity is different. Stupidity means that they can't even tell that they got flaws, though. Derek owns his flaws. That's what I think that's one of Derek's strengths. Is like if he like fucks up, he's like, look,
hey, my bad.
I fucked up. Like,
look at this scar, man.
He just said something at the beginning of this podcast where he was like, I
want you to read the underlined sentence, please.
He's like, I said something and I was like,
bro.
That's just out loud, bro.
This one right here?
The underlined sentence, yeah.
It all started
because it's me at work.
17.
It says, I want you.
Yeah, that one.
Here you go.
I want you to look at me, but I'm not going to acknowledge you. Spicy.
What kind of erotic porn was that? What the hell?
Yo, cut the video. I'm about to read this shit. As I look deeply into her eyes, Her body starts to quiver.
Just looking at her.
Just
You didn't even touch it yet.
Oh, y'all by?
I knew you were.
Are these motherfuckers by the beach? It seems like they by the beach. No, but that's kind of fun. Like the whole, what parent is everybody like? I'd like to know Montel and Marcus's thoughts. Can you message them, see what they say?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Like, who do you think? Which?
Marcus is gonna say, dad, mama.
Who's like mom?
He's gonna say James and him are ma, and then he's gonna say you two and Montel.
I think
that's funny.
I think it's funny y'all guys are even able to pick up a parent in Marcus though.
I think he's definitely like.
I don't know
like
what Marcus is.
Yeah.
He does every other week. He's trying to change and be something else. I don't think Marcus.
Yeah, no, but that's.
I don't think Marcus is set yet.
No,
you see,
that is him establishing himself.
No.
Rather, we're not asking that. We're asking who does he emulate. Like, because you got a demeanor that you carry yourself with all the time.
But what I'm saying is right now, Marcus is emulating everybody around him. He's changing every other like for every situation.
What do you say?
I love you.
What do you say?
Yo,
I don't
know what you say.
What do you say that she is?
Still trying to figure out.
Easily
impressionable. Yeah.
Impressionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but usually that happens when you're early teens, mid-teens.
Right, but
in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, but here's the thing. You also have to realize that you learn through your peers and things like that. And you have to also see that Marcus's peers weren't really around. As in the sense, he hung out with our friends.
Right.
Our friends, we're like 7 years older and shit.
Oh, it was always the young kid.
Oh, in no way is this. Was that a slight?
Yeah, no. I was saying that's
like,
why it is how it is.
Like with Marcus, like if you said any parent, I can go. I see it right now. Yeah. Because he's constantly trying to figure out. Because whenever he's in an environment, he just pulls from
what?
We do a bomb.
Fuck yeah.
Who he knows, you know what I mean?
I'll pull up.
Because I know.
Corey's right there.
I'll give with Marcus. I'll give you an example. If Marcus is confronted with like someone aggressive, he's not gonna go off of Ma and Dad. He's gonna go off of you.
No,
you see what I'm saying? Because
you just said bomb.
I know. I didn't know that. Oh no.
Because I think when Marcus thinks of strength, he thinks of you. You know what I'm saying? So he sees. So he's not gonna go off. So Marcus doesn't know how to handle a situation on his own. He goes, "How would Derek handle this?"
Yo, is it messed up if I kick them off the podcast and just come over? Is it messed up or no? It's not messed up. Great. We good?
No, but that's what I was saying. Right now, I don't know if I can say Marcus is like any parent yet and do him complete justice.
Perfect class, by the way.
I have
90s babies all the way.
Coffee mug.
I love it. What? 90 baby?
Yeah.
Go ahead, yo. I like her more and more every time she talks.
29.
Oh shit! When's your birthday?
August 9th, 1990.
I'll deal with it, but
I'm a Leo.
His birthday's next week. Woo woo.
Really?
February 8th, baby.
Yeah. He's gonna be 12. I was born on leap year. So.
What am I then?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
We need one more.
Did they give you answers?
Huh?
Did they answer you?
No, I was just listening to this.
Oh.
Okay. I was going like.
Corey, is that your shot glass or no?
This is my
Jaeger.
Can I have your glass?
I can't stand this guy right now.
Yo, love me, bro. That's all I ask.
We're just
He's not
organizing alcohol.
Brianna, you're wrong. I love you, but you're wrong. No, dude, he just said all I wanted to be is love, and that's the core message of it too.
No, all I want to do is be alone. Listen to man.
Cool.
Sticking by my statement.
And smoke my weed. That's all.
Hold on, but
Here's the problem.
You also gotta know Corey at the core.
Yeah, because when
I'm
Corey.
about to dive into some shit. I'm
Oh,
not gonna look at him and say what I know.
Don't look.
Corey is the kind of guy that will put other people's feelings before his.
Okay.
Corey is the kind of guy that will forgive somebody who steps on his toes and screws him over, in a sense.
Right.
Corey is the kind of guy who will step in for someone else's absence.
Okay.
Meaning it's not his place,
Yeah.
but we'll do that.
Okay.
Corey
He's a bitch.
well, I mean, that's a given. That's a given.
Yeah,
See?
you
You are there.
Wait,
Nah, I cut myself up
Yeah,
with
man.
Yeah.
But would you be the person if you had a band-aid and someone was bleeding, you'd be like, here, let me give this to you?
No, but
That's because of his job, though.
But
He
I
didn't have
would-
that before, but he
I
got
was
it
gonna say, I wouldn't hesitate to do CPR or anything life-saving.
now. Yeah. Like,
Like,
before.
I wouldn't even ask. care that there's no like Good Samaritan. I don't care nothing about that. Like
Right. No,
I don't care.
That's not what she was. That's not what she was asking. Just to help.
No, I don't care. I don't
do
care.
selflessly for people.
That's
You're like,
fucked
"Here, let
up.
me
I
help
don't care if you gotta do not resuscitate. I don't care. I'm saving you.
Illegal.
Some
I don't
first of all,
care.
some
I'm
poor
saying
bastards
you
like
too.
I was
Don't
almost
let
out.
anybody tell you no different.
He was like,
If what I just told you,
Everything you just said is true.
you're a 2, but my guy, you're only a
I'm
2
the
out of 10.
same way.
that's not cool because
Bitch.
some poor
What am
guy
I?
was like, I was almost out.
I beat you, bitch. That's all that matters.
And then maybe I
Get over
can
that.
What are you?
6. I'm an 8.
Oh, fuck that. This scale's all
Like,
jack.
no.
It's not a scale, it's a spectrum.
No. Could be in the worst.
Oh, you're a 10.
I'll stab you. You better
What,
watch
I'm a
your
5.
mouth.
You're a 5?
Yeah.
I'm a 3.
No.
But
Alright, I know. I am the
You
worst.
need to take the test and decide for yourself. But everything that you've been saying gives indication that you possibly will be.
But
a
like, what?
three.
You gotta go off
It's
what
not
other
a-
people say about
but
me
it's
too,
not
though.
a-
No, you
rating,
need to know
though.
yourself. Be honest with yourself first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. I always do that. I love self-exploring.
I bet you.
Then
You know
you
what?
like it.
We're gonna
I
do
like
this,
it.
right?
I love teaching
In-
people things.
So it's February.
Yeah, how'd you know?
So
Those
in
3
2
months.
months, 2 or 3
Yep.
months, we're gonna retake the test
Yep.
and see who stayed true to what they
Can you
figured.
talk into your mic?
Yeah.
You're literally the worst at it today.
Because it's usually over here, so
It
then
doesn't
I can
matter.
put it in front of me.
As
Can
much
we
as you
like-
like to talk shit.
Can we like
I'm sorry.
do
Can
it
we
this
just
way?
do this?
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
And just taking it out.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
not
let-
this side,
And then if
this
you come
side.
forward, it'll be like between the two
She
of you
doesn't
guys.
want it.
Oh.
She won't be on camera. You're not on camera.
She
That's-
don't want it.
Super selfish. Brianna pours for you guys.
Yeah.
Not me, James.
How rude.
He gave you that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, now you just.
I'm gonna mind my business.
Now you're
You're
blaming
starting to
Corey.
blame. Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely
Wow.
Nate. You're blaming someone else.
That is
You
not
don't
what
even
eights
know.
do. No.
Did that work? Did it work?
That one's for me. Just pass it over here.
What?
I'm gonna take another one after.
Wait, what?
Relax. That's not good for your heart, my guy.
Okay,
Um,
killer.
So
Yo, shit.
No, these are delicious.
That's not good for your heart. Who cares?
No, he got it.
That's like getting mad at me for drinking because you're like, that's not good for your liver. I knew that before I opened
I know. It says it.
okay, so you know how the Jaeger bomb goes. Super
One
simple.
tap away.
I will walk you through it.
This,
Yep.
like this.
Drop
You
it
got-
in
So when you
together. How do you not clink your teeth and hurt
It
it?
does.
you do it gradually.
Okay.
You tilt
You
it
don't
back
wanna
as you chug it. Yeah,
Right.
like a lot of people always say, like I don't want to hit my teeth. When you drink a drink, you gradually ascend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you're not. What are you doing? Just like speed. You know what I'm saying?
I got it.
Boom.
I got
Test
it.
it forward.
So-
Who lost teeth?
What, you guys want to do this now?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I'm not feeling it right now, but I will knock it down with you
No,
guys.
wait.
No.
Can do
Oh,
it. You can do it. Hey, let's go.
Oh, all right.
We don't have to do these. We got shots right here.
We're good.
James, don't
What?
try to ruin this.
I'm not. I just like one.
Cheers
Cheers.
to bitches.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I had an air pocket just sitting there. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't do
Chug
this
it.
fast.
You didn't get
Alright,
a mix.
right there.
No.
Whatever.
Take it all as one.
You got
Right
this,
there.
girl. Go. Oh, she's
Oh, I
taking
didn't mean like
gulps,
No,
huh?
no. Take your
She'll
time.
be
Take your
fine.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you
I
were
almost
sipping
started
it.
laughing. Wait.
It's that blend though.
Yeah, you gotta get the blend. Like if you get just Jaeger, it's Jaeger's just licorice.
Yeah, you're gonna
Paper towel
be
over
miserable.
It's not fun.
I don't like either one of them by themselves, but
Together?
together,
So good. It's like
That's the one that.
I don't understand.
So Brown will keep trying to pour those all night, and I'm like, they're not good for your heart. Like they're not the best for
Energy
your heart.
drinks in general, not good for you.
Well, one's an upper and one's a downer. Like one speeds your heart rate up, one slows it down. So it's like,
no, you just go back to
like
where you
people
was.
that do like
Exactly.
it's like,
You're
yeah,
going
eat
back to
crumbs, like,
baseline.
they do this
Oh,
thing,
okay.
but they fuck themselves
that's too
up.
much. Yeah, your body's like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
I find it funny that every time we find a way to revert back to the
Enneagram.
Enneagrams.
Enneagram.
Can we go?
They're fascinating.
What's the breakdown of the word?
Enneagram?
Yeah,
Let's look it
I don't know.
up.
Yeah, you look at it.
like the origin of the word.
E.
Because the gram is obviously like a
What's the
diagram,
name?
right?
What's the name of the book?
The book I have
It's called
is.
Thug Life.
The book I
Rosemary's
have
Baby.
is.
Oh, socks say nerd.
Yeah, they do.
Don't
It says
nice.
book.
So
Look
the
here.
beginning.
The
Energy.
book is
I
called
don't
The
know.
Wisdom of the Enneagram. It's by Don Richard Rizzo and Russ Hudson.
I know them.
So the word Enneagram came from
Are you blocking it?
the Greek word
She definitely just did.
Ennea, meaning 9. There's 9
Yeah, 9 different
I get
numbers.
that.
that you
Okay.
numbers, and grandma, means written or drawn. So
Okay.
Like,
And it's a drawn
Like a diagram.
symbol,
Yeah.
is what it does.
Okay.
So 9 drawings?
Say smart.
I think the
So,
9 is the points.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, as to everyone, I always recommend everyone takes the test and knows their true self, finds their 3 top numbers, goes from there, figure out their number. The podcast that I was going to recommend to you guys is called "Do It for the Gram."
Oh.
Yeah.
I like it.
So the
Yeah.
podcast, for those who could not, maybe not be able to hear it, it's called "Do It for the Gram," and it'll probably just cover some of the
Yeah,
things.
I really like it because this
How
guy,
in depth they go.
I've only started listening to it. I'm not an auditory learner, so sometimes it takes me a second to go
Visual?
through shit. Yeah, I'm a visual learner.
I was going to ask, is
I'm
it
all
visual
three.
or is it all audio?
I think it's all
There's
audio.
3?
I'm not
Yeah.
completely sure though.
Okay.
It's this guy that
Hands-on?
he lives in
Oh,
Atlanta.
yeah.
What the fuck?
I would figure that would be.
His
I always thought that would be
perspective,
like
'cause he's
visual.
a black man and
But no,
his
hands-on is-
perspective
I
on
think
in the culture and what that means in the culture.
It's a
because
black guy.
Yeah.
Word. What's his
Says
name? Lawrence?
I am
I can look
also
it up.
black.
Theodore? Teddy.
Trey.
So hold on. Okay, so
Is his name Trey?
does he do episode for every number?
Yeah, he does an episode for every number. He's done growth work for every number. He also, because there aren't a lot of representation in black culture, what this means and what this does, he relates it to like what you've seen in your childhood, what you've seen in the community. What
So
that
as a
means.
black person.
Yeah, as a black
Oh,
person.
wow.
I didn't have a childhood, so
Wow.
how's that represent?
I feel like that could get dark super quick.
It popped out like that.
Well, sometimes it just happens that
Well,
way.
in all fairness,
You seen
I don't
Terminator
remember
2?
anything from my
Have you not
childhood.
seen Full Metal Alchemist? I was
This
just
guy-
made-
Hold on.
It's called Do It for the Gram, an Enneagram podcast, and his name is Milton Stewart.
Damn it.
Who the fuck know a black
Milton?
dude named Milton?
I'm gonna have to just.
Now we all know one.
That's why he has him call him Mill, Big Millie.
This is what-
Like, yo,
Oh, there you go. Big Millie.
Don't
That's
call
his
me
name.
right now. See, look. Milton.
That's like the-
Yo, why you calling him out government, cuz?
Or whatever.
Oh, okay. So it shows the graph. The.
Yeah,
Eight
shows
thirty.
that. I think his number is either a 5 or a 7. And
It's 8:30.
He has a lot of good perspective on what happens.
I'm gonna actually check that out. I'll probably listen to when I drive.
It's cool.
Yeah. What do you find yourself to be? And
My number?
like learning wise.
She finds herself black.
Like learning wise, you said you're not audio, you're visual.
No, I'm a visual tactile learner.
So
and that's why
hands-on
I-
kind of deal.
Yeah, hands on. That's why I kind of. You've seen me. You
I
guys
just
have kind of
schooled his ass. I was like, yeah, you can learn with your hands more.
That's cool. I never.
Right.
I'm,
So you
I,
learn
all
through
three.
doing things and a visual way, and so that's why I don't know if Brianna
Derek
has
should
noticed
learn
it.
my shot
I have
before
a lot of some hearing people call it really intense eye contact. Is because if I'm not looking at you, I'm not fucking paying attention. Like my brain's
The way she put that, I'm not fucking.
Like, so I need to have full attention to be like, all right, we got this, we're good, okay. And that's why I kind of navigate towards ASL. Why I started learning it is because it's a tactile thing. You have to do it with your hands,
Yeah.
and you have to be paying attention to the person, like giving them eye contact, watching what they're doing.
And it's
Something
normal.
you understand.
Yeah, it's like a normal.
It's like something you
I just
understand.
like.
So you can.
I just realized
Yeah.
I'm fucked because I'm a 5 and a logician. So like, if you ain't teaching me nothing, get the fuck away from me. Like I need to be learning while I'm
Fucking
around you, or I don't.
What do you
care.
find yourself to be?
I'm tactile.
You're hands on.
Absolutely hands on. Like if I need to remember stuff,
I
I,
will
have
add
to
it.
write it down. Like
Yeah.
I physically have to write it
Yeah.
down. Like he's like, use your phone. I'm like, no, I need the pen and paper.
Right. Yeah.
What about yourself?
Physical, whatever.
Hands on. Yeah.
Tactile.
I need.
Hands on.
I need you to show me. Like I need to see it.
You're visual.
Yeah.
I'm
Can't-
all three, bruh.
There's
Um,
4
uh,
altogether. It's
what's
gonna
the
be,
fourth?
Reading, learn to read.
I'm all that
learn
shit.
by reading, learn through tactile, learn through visual, learn through auditory.
Wait, I was gonna say, what about being told auditory?
I
I-
feel like he's
Auditory.
reading and audio.
No.
He can't read. We
Hands,
just
I'm
established
hands on
that.
heavier
No,
shit.
no. But I'm saying, think about it, right? Anytime you talk to him about something, he's researching it in depth all the time.
But then he's learning through reading.
No, that's only if he
I-
cares about
no,
it.
No, time out. You gotta realize. So, I can tell you. So, in general, learning. I'm a chef by trade.
Oh, really?
So there alone, it shows you that I'm learning through speech and hands on because I have to do it myself.
Yep.
But there's visuals there.
So it's visuals. That's why I said it's all. I learned through all three. If you want to ask what I do,
you watch someone do it before you do it.
No, because
and you're not necessarily a visual learner.
I think I do best, but I think I do best when I see it because I learned.
When you see it.
Yeah, I learned all this stuff that we're doing with the podcast and all that. I learned that through a video. Through, you know what I mean? But at the same time,
are you focused on the picture? Or you focus on what they're saying?
Everything. That's the problem. I don't know. That's why I say it's a little bit of all of it.
Ambidextrous.
It's the weirdest thing because
it's
my curse. Because when reading, I can pull back. I can pull up anything that I read.
Yeah.
I can go back and show you anything I physically learned. I can show you like if I saw it, I show you the same way I saw it.
That's true.
And that's why I say it's like I learned in all three aspects. What's the fourth one? I keep forgetting.
Reading, auditory, doing.
Visual, auditory, reading, and tactile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can learn no matter what. That's your cross to bear.
I think so. Yeah, no.
Oh, such a 3.
Who is you, man?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like,
the achiever.
I feel like if I had to say which one I think I do, like, learn the most, like, or
best.
What do you call it? When you I retain
the information.
Yeah.
It's probably hands-on. To be honest.
Okay.
I feel like, because think about it. How many times someone showed me something and I go and...
Yeah. And you actually
it might not be as perfect.
No, you do it better.
Oh.
Think about your sauces and stuff.
But that's what I was going to get at. That's what I was going to get at.
Stop.
Like,
all right. But there's visual in there's audio in there, too. Stop talking, Just stop talking, then.
But being a chef, brown to you might be different from brown to the next chef. So how do you know when they say browning? When I say browning...
Yeah.
Not based on the technique.
Yeah, that's technique. It's technique based. Yeah.
That's brown isn't always brown, James.
So here's the thing.
Because the caramel brown.
You have to remember though, and I tell her this all the time. Cooking is not linear.
Yeah, I know. It's not.
That's why I suck as a chef because I'm like, nope. He said 5 motherfucking minutes.
You have to be open. Yeah, I mean you have.
And then the chicken's raw.
I always tell her like Bruce Lee, be like water.
I'm not water.
Be like water.
I like water.
When you drive.
Oh, you're the finger. You look at the moon.
I'm the finger.
But you miss all that heavenly glory.
Same.
That's why I think I like to think that I thrive in the open possibility thing, where it's like, but here's the thing. I don't think I see the whole picture. I'm just like, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You can.
Like it's not like yo, look what I can do. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do what I want.
Why look at Boston when you can see the whole world?
I think a good chef is a little bit of a narcissist. They have to see themselves as God. Like I control this. I have to control this.
Like the worst thing for me to have been would have been a doctor.
Oh,
I'm like, this motherfucker's life is literally in my hands.
And he would have been like, not today.
You know what? I don't like his nose.
No.
Let him go. No, I'm just kidding. That's a fucked up ethnic thing, huh?
Bad joke.
Let me think about it like this. Like someone's like, I order medium rare. I decide how rare is medium.
Okay, I want to really, before we go off, let's go to the Aaron Hernandez thing.
Okay.
Let's do that a little bit, and then we'll see if we got time for anything.
You had 3.
Go ahead, Corey.
All right.
Are you looking at the ad?
So
you would.
I figured
she just took the test for him.
I figured I'd just tie it both together. Like the Aaron Hernandez thing. So don't want to go too fast through it, but we'll start from.
The person or the person or the crime? That was what you asked.
That's what I'm saying. But let's just do it both. I think we can link both. So the person.
I told you it's eerie.
The person, Aaron Hernandez. You know, they.
I totally forgot we were talking about Aaron.
We when we watched the documentary, did it seem like they bashed him for being gay the whole time?
So, and this is where Derek was saying too is, they were using the gay thing as a not as a defense, as a weapon. As an attack. Yeah. It was because the way they were bringing it up wasn't like like
that's right. The prosecutor used that he was gay.
It was very
no, it was bad.
It was really dirty because the prosecutor was like he had to hide that he was gay all his life
because
so it acted out as aggression.
Yeah.
And that's why
he
killed people.
Because he's killing people because he's gay and he can't say it because his dad was an asshole.
Like the guy found out that he was gay.
No, that's not what happened.
Hold on. Hold on. The reason why I have a problem with it, and Derek will say the same exact thing, is the fact that Aaron Hernandez is not here to talk about yes or no, I was gay. It only came out after he was dead.
No, they used that during the court case.
Yeah,
and
but
the
after
judge,
he died.
No,
But who was
during the
making the
court case,
judgment?
and the judge threw it out.
Who was making the judgment?
The-
Who was
the-
saying
no,
he
hold on
was
a
gay?
second.
Was
The-
it him himself?
No,
Then
he
they
never
can't
won.
run it out
You're-
to him.
you're-
Wait a minute.
That's
When he,
The defense
'cause I
attorney
do
said
remember
he
something
was
like that.
gay.
Because he didn't
That's
kill
not
him.
like straight
No,
people telling gay people they're gay.
Exactly.
he didn't kill himself until all his trials were done. He died.
Wait.
during
No.
appeal. He
In
died during
appeal,
the-
yeah.
Right. So all his trials were done. That was one of the prosecutor used that during an attack, and the judge threw it out.
Yeah.
Hernandez was alive during that. Because I was also upset about it. I was like, they waited.
You just outed
They-
him, and
they
no
were-
wonder he hurt so bad.
I was like, because I was with Derek.
What did I say?
Before I saw the documentary, I was with Derek. I was like, no, like he's not here to defend himself. Then you find out that the prosecutor used it during the court case in front of him,
Yeah.
and the judge was
Wouldn't
like,
there be
no.
more gay serial
Time out.
killers? If that was the case,
I think you. All right, so hold on. They never were
Or
able
gay
to.
killers?
They were never able to bring up his sexuality in court.
Yeah.
The judge shut it down because they tried to do it. What do you call it when you come to sidebar?
yeah.
When you go talk to the judge.
Yeah.
Private.
So sidebar. When they literally
Yeah,
did it
yeah.
at the court, but the
Yeah, it
judge
was
told
sidebar.
him.
You're right.
The
You're
judge
right.
told.
It's hard to get a sidebar, by the way.
The judge told him. He said it's not admissible. It has nothing to do with his character profile or why the crimes happened.
It's bad.
Like you have not done.
You have to watch
It's
it.
bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna make me
It's
cry.
bad.
She's a
I-
2. It's a
Between-
2.
Between,
I feel like. I don't know. I don't know if Brianna told you guys. I feel like this was a hit piece.
Told you.
That's what I said.
It absolutely was.
Gay
So,
bashing. That's
Not a matter of gay bashing. I think that a lot of the people who are involved in this, the making of this, had agendas. I want to pay attention to the guy who was the high school quarterback that was his friend. I want to check.
Oh, yeah.
I want to check his mental stability, and I want to check does he have a book coming up.
Yep. Because he was
Because he
real
has
quick
those
with the.
books.
And we were together.
No,
and
from the beginning,
it was
he goes-
Basically, we were boyfriends, but we just didn't call it that.
It's not related, but in the movie with the exonerated 5.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yes.
How they see us? Oh, when they see us.
When
Yes.
they see us,
Yeah.
yeah.
Loved
So
it.
good, right?
Yeah.
Did you cry?
My fucking eyes.
I
Yeah,
cried,
she
yeah.
cried. Yeah. I didn't
That
cry.
last
The
episode?
last
Oh
one.
my
Corey.
god.
With
Corey?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But it talked about that bitch that she made a book out of all this shit.
And
She
made
was-
Fuck that hoe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you know who I'm talking
I love when women bash women. Like, it's so funny.
I do remember, like,
It's so
that when
funny.
you guys were talking about, like, oh, does that person have a book coming out? I'm like, that bitch did.
She's like, that bitch, fuck that hoe.
Fuck
It's
that
like, what
hoe.
happened?
She made several books, didn't she?
Corey's bitch ass all over there being evil. I love when women bash women.
I'm like, yes, yes.
Like women, I told you.
But we're not
Hold on.
bashing this.
In
really.
my
No,
eyes.
just
It's
her.
No,
it's
no, no.
her. No.
Hold on.
Bad.
But in my eyes, that is not a woman. She's a bitch.
Nah, that's
Oh,
different.
damn.
Yeah.
No,
No. She's a monster.
She's
She's a
speaking
monster.
100%
That's wrong.
from her privilege at this point.
Yeah.
She knows she can have
And she was-
money.
yeah, and
She'll
she-
Are
like
you
women.
are you an ally?
Guys, just
And
hold
an
on.
eye of everything.
No, the fact that she was
Let-
like,
let- hold on.
City,
Let the
I-
record
you know,
show.
you know.
Oh shit.
She's white too.
Light skin.
I had people thinking she was
when the
black. Why
when the
would you
lady
do that?
said the
Damn it.
prosecutor.
You know, hold on. All the listeners and whatnot, or viewers, probably caught on that she wasn't black because she didn't say nigga.
Hey,
Not
hey.
once.
Her face.
She didn't say it.
what's up,
Not
looking?
us.
She didn't say it once. They're all like,
Not this two.
they're listening. They're like,
I don't think Corey said either.
She's
I
not-
would love to
I don't know if
keep
you
their
did.
relationships, and I know white people aren't supposed to say that shit, and I don't. I
Yeah.
respect
Yeah.
everybody, and I love
that's fine.
every.
So when you listen to 50
So wait, hold on.
What's
Hold
the
on.
song
Hold on, stop over talking to each other.
So you won't say nakers either?
We're not doing that.
Time out. Who here thinks that she said nakers?
No, she said
She
nigga.
did not.
There was G's.
She
That
said
was
nigga.
G,
There's
bro.
an I in there.
Did you hear the reporter?
Three-pointer?
What?
Can we pull up the audio?
The
No,
LA
and-
niggas.
Yo, we first of all,
When talking about Kobe.
first,
Oh,
first of all,
That's what she said.
She said the Los
Say it
Angeles. The
She
Los
said
Angeles.
LA niggers. I was so
No.
like, no, she said it just like
Don't
that.
say that.
She didn't say niggas. She didn't say niggas.
Exactly.
I'm live. Right, literally, she's reporting the death of Kobe.
Where's she from?
Oh, I don't know. She tried to say she got mixed.
South? Like South?
Nah.
Any place that's,
I don't know.
Historically racist?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's.
I don't know where it was,
question.
but she said she got mixed up and confused with the Knicks
Knicks
and the
and
Lakers.
Lakers.
But the Knicks have nothing to do with Kobe Bryant at all. Yeah, he never played for the team.
She has some unbiased. She needs a fucking pat.
They were like, yeah, you know what? You're fired.
That's junior training right there. I
Yeah.
got team conviction.
She like, but she like put that out immediately too on her Twitter. Oh, you know, I got mixed
I
up.
got them mixed up. I didn't know.
She clearly has not watched.
Did you look up on
13,
YouTube?
30.
Lady says niggers.
She's not educated herself.
It's alright. She still has her job.
Just put lady mixing
Yeah.
up.
It says she was not fired.
I just said
Of
that.
course.
I heard she got fired.
Poor white lady.
Los Angeles Lakers comedian, if I could ask you to stay with us.
Here you go.
No, she needs to
The
hear.
kind
I'm sure
of
they
star
heard.
that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Niggers. The anchor quickly corrected herself by
Yes,
Oh,
saying the
that was-
Los
Hold on,
Angeles
I
Lakers.
was like, well, that was
Los
clear.
Angeles Lakers. Perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers. comedian,
She
if I could ask you to
stops
stay
and
with us.
says it like.
I'm gonna run it
Yeah,
back.
she totally was. She
She's
thought about
like,
it.
Los
That was
Angeles.
So intentional.
Doesn't sound like is there any reasonable doubt that she said makers?
No.
We go to
What was
the
she saying? She was confused
She
about.
said she mixed up
Nick?
Knicks and Lakers. She said she got
Knickers.
You would
Knickers.
hear
No,
sound.
there is definitely an
Listen.
N-I-G-G-E-R.
Listen.
Yeah.
I know she said it because my nigger sense went off.
100 times.
When you hear a white person say it, you get that shiver up your spine and you
Same.
go and you clinch up. You're like,
Like, hold on. Here we go.
Comedian, if I could ask you to stay with us. Perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Los
She
Angeles Lakers.
pauses.
That
like,
pause will
hold
bother
on.
me.
So it's a little difficult to kind of side with.
Now,
I'm
can I
like,
just say
I
something?
mean, I make silly noises after I mess up, but
I-
like, she could have been like,
Oh, yeah, something. We made this.
You know, like, so, like,
yeah, let me get another.
it wasn't Mark Cuban, but it was somebody like on that level. Like, it was
I'm
like
gonna punch you.
it was the owner of the team, and he was saying that like you hear the owners call the Lakers the niggers, and the Knicks the Knicks. Like there's racism in the owners about the team. So like, oh the New York Knicks
She
and the
definitely.
Los Angeles niggers. You know, like I'm sorry I keep saying it, but that's what they're calling them.
but yeah,
Can
it's
I don't like the word. I'm trying as my New Year's resolution not to even say the word.
right, but
Resolutions or
historically,
him not saying choosing that as a
baseball-
resolution?
I'm actually gonna try this.
basketball
Power.
historically
Drink.
is a black. Generally, a lot more
Woo,
black people
who did
go
that?
for it.
Yeah,
Right.
James, no,
Yeah.
I was nowhere near
I
that.
would say.
So yeah,
She's like,
because I'm thinking, so I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. There's a lot of shit going on in Missouri. Missouri's fucked up as all
It's in
sorts
its name.
of that.
It's miserable. No playing.
It is. No, that's fucking a joke in Missouri. If you don't like it, it's misery, is what people call
That
it.
is funny.
Misery loves company.
Oh my god.
That's why she got the hell out. No.
I was just before, like when you guys were all talking and doing your thing, I was talking to Brianna inside a little bit, and I was explaining St. Louis doesn't have a basketball team as far as I can remember, and it's because there's a lot of racism around St. Louis, and we don't. A lot of people don't, you know.
Yo, I really want to have you on the
and if you
podcast.
go-
but-
Right?
If you go
She's not like,
St.
nah.
Louis history, St. Louis history, the city itself was.
Is that Ellen? No, I'm kidding.
Oh
The
shit.
city itself was accepting of freed slaves.
That's the
but
that's the lady.
outside-
Can you show her again?
I'm
What
sorry.
She just showed us the lady who said it. She looked like she would
She
throw
looked
the
like
N bomb.
she
She looked like she would throw the N bomb like at her little.
Bad as fuck.
She told her grandkid to stop playing with them.
But so yeah, the city itself accepted people who were freed slaves, but the outside surrounding counties of St. Louis did not. They didn't. They were.
I didn't-
So
wow.
the state of Missouri, when it votes, and it's true to this day, the major
It's
cities
split.
are blue.
Uh huh.
The rest of the state is super fucking red. Like the super.
I never
And
knew that.
so, like, I don't remember the year, but Mike Brown,
Yep.
who was a black boy who was shot in the road, that happened probably 5 minutes away from my house. That area, and I mean, the city is still very divided. I mean, the greater area of St. Louis is still very divided. If you go, like, I lived up in North County where that happened. If you drive around in North County, there's cops always following you doing shit. Like
Is it more black
pulling you
or
over.
white?
Yeah. There's a lot of POC, a lot of different stuff going on there. If
Okay.
you go down south, it's all white people, and I never get pulled over.
Oh,
Like,
so you
never.
experience even as a white woman driving,
Yeah.
the cops following you.
Yeah, all the time.
Where
I have super strong triggers. Like when we work in Chelsea and the cops are like fucking on your ass. Like I freak out to the point where I'll do something to fuck up so that way like I don't intentionally.
He's pulling me over, damn it!
Right, like I get so anxious because I have such that trigger from growing up in North County. Like the cops always following you. So now when Chelsea cops follow you so hard.
Is this me follow?
Yeah, like this is the car. And this is the car.
Car, boom.
So they go next to each other, follow.
Yeah.
So when they're on your ass in Chelsea, like I flip out because I can't. Oh my God, they're behind me. What am I doing wrong?
What did I do?
And then I do something
And now they have a
unintentionally,
reason,
and then I get pulled over.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What happens if they follow you? You just pull over. Do they just go, "Oh shit"? And just keep driving?
Try that.
I've done it.
Suspicious activity. They turn
No,
around.
The cop's gonna do it. This cop's gonna do this. Fuck.
I have a whole plan for this. I've done it. So I pull over. If this motherfucker.
Unplug the mouse.
No, it's fine.
Damn, dog.
It's fine. Just
You about to break my shit.
Alright, listen.
She's like, it's fine.
So
Bring
it's-
the screen, the TV with her. Like,
I have a whole plan. I pull over. If he pulls over and is like, suspicious activity, I'd be like, you were being suspicious. I thought you had somewhere to go.
yeah, you should just be like, yeah, you're
I was
suspicious
getting
as
out
fuck,
of your
bro.
way.
Yeah, because when I did it, the interpreter I was with, she literally like signaled to me to pull over. Like she's like, parking spot right there. Do it. She signaled. She let me know to go park there. And then instantly, as I parked, he pulled up on her shit, and she turned the street, and she was like, I was about to just jump out my car and be like, what do you want?
Right. He's like, shit, come on. Keep going.
I'm not sure that's the move,
go,
but
go.
you know,
I
like
mean,
to acknowledge.
Chelsea can be.
Well, wrong is wrong.
It's
If
like
a
you
cop is
followed me
pulling
for like
you over
4
for no
blocks.
reason,
What do you want me to
Yeah.
do?
But I do,
Literally freaked me out. Like,
I
the
do
whole time
think
was
that
like,
Chelsea cops know who didn't grow up here and who did.
yeah.
Because
I don't know.
I don't get any of that. The cops drive right by me and they don't say shit.
No.
They're like,
It's because
She's got the look.
It's because your music's
Well,
blasting.
I don't fucking. No, I have music blasting too. That wouldn't make any sense.
What song was it? It matters.
No, it's like rap.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Like
that's
it's,
odd.
it doesn't. But I'm not from Massachusetts, so I'm like, what the fuck the streets are doing? And like, I need GPS to go places, especially in Chelsea. I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's why.
Our streets are
We
so
all have
bad.
a look like, God damn it, I can't wait to get the fuck out of
like
here.
I've been.
And they're like,
The
no.
first day of training, I was followed because they're like, "Where the fuck are you from?" I'm like, "Why the fuck doesn't the streets make sense?"
Why is it not a grid? That makes more sense.
No.
But like, you take this one way, it leads you back to
I always tell
the
Brianna
square.
when we're in Boston, I'm like everything fucking touches everything. Like I don't care where we're at. We could be at the aquarium and we're also near the garden. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like what?
Yeah.
We literally take a right, and I'm like, how the fuck?
We're at the seaport and also by my job.
We
in
have to
fucking
walk
Copley,
15
like,
blocks to get
You know
here,
that-
but we're right back where we started.
You know,
In-
there's
in
an actual
3
reason
minutes.
behind that, right?
Yep.
Like why we're all fucked up like that?
No.
It's because we didn't have any idea how the roads were supposed to work.
Oh, yeah,
Until
yeah, we don't have a road now.
further-
Like
That's how we got
cows-
further
cows
west.
made it
When
that
you
way,
go-
horses made it that
When
way.
you go further
So
west,
Charles
like
was like, the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
so
like New York is done right.
New York is
New
literally-
York is done
and
better.
it makes
No,
sense.
it's
no,
done right. It's a grid.
right, because and it's literally 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
Going north from New York, you go first, second, third, fourth,
that's
fifth,
the square
sixth.
in Chelsea.
No, man.
No. Who the fuck is that?
Nah,
Where?
They skip a
Where?
street.
Corey, I'm still trying to find 3rd Street.
I just said they
Hold
skip
on, hold on. Where's 2nd
Everett.
Street?
It's in Everett.
They skip one.
Nope. 2nd
There it
Street.
is.
No, I'm gonna tell you. 2nd Street
It's in
is
Williams.
nope.
No,
2nd
that's
Street
not-
is
that's
all the way on Route 16, that back road.
It's a
Shut
second
up.
street
That's
they
2nd
made.
Street. Where all the trucks go. That's
Okay,
2nd
alright,
Street.
so then explain why Everett Ave runs the whole fucking length of Chelsea then.
No,
It's
it's
Everett.
not. It's not the whole.
No, I'm saying like.
No, it's damn there.
Eastern.
No, it's damn there.
Eastern.
It could be there Broadway.
No, no, no.
Eastern is
No,
by
Eastern,
SNL.
no, Eastern doesn't.
No, not Eastern. Everett Ave is by the high
is-
school.
Yep.
That runs north-south of Chelsea.
No, Eastern runs all Chelsea.
That runs north-south of Chelsea.
Eastern does not.
You could go from
Everett,
No,
Everett,
because
Everett.
it turns to marginal.
you can go from Revere
I'm right, they're wrong.
all the way
At the
through-
White
Yeah.
at the White Bridge, it turns into Marginal Street.
Oh, that's where. Okay.
Yo, why you bringing race into this?
Yeah.
What?
Marginalizing-
You mean the drawbridge?
No, the White
It's
Bridge.
White Bridge.
Oh.
It's white,
The drawbridge.
The white
and the other bridge is red.
You've been around for 15
Oh, the
years. You
color.
still ain't got done any better.
Color.
What's the longest you sat at that bridge?
Oh, hours.
I hate that
20
bridge.
minutes, guess what? 0, because I turned the fuck
I
around.
hate that bridge.
I'm gonna just drive around till it's
I
back
go
down.
get some lunch.
White one or the red one?
The white one.
I always go
the
to the
red
red
one's
one.
faster.
Red one's
Either way, I
faster.
sit there and like, I'm not used to this from St. Louis. We don't have no bridges.
The white
Well, y'all
bridge is
got
new.
y'all
you got
both-
rivers, don't y'all?
As y'all go,
So they don't go like this. They stay.
It just
as
stayed there.
constant.
How's y'all's roads? Is it better than ours?
Better.
I
Like,
bet, way better.
fucking,
Tell
I
me,
was driving with someone and it was supposed to be a two-way street, but like, of course, there's cars on both fucking sides. And there was a car coming at me, so I'm like, this is not a two-way street. I'm freaking out. And whoever's in my car is like, no, it's two-way. You just gotta wait for them to go. And I'm like, that's not a fucking two-way street.
Yeah, it's one way, but
Like,
stop.
You gotta go to the car to
Um,
start. Yeah.
That's a street of
Don't y'all
convenience.
still have like dirt roads?
In
Like-
Missouri?
Yeah.
No.
Word? Oh, I thought they had.
We pretty developed up in there.
No, I was just asking a question. I feel like it ain't it rural
No.
at all.
No. I live from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, you St.
How far
Louis?
are you from
Yeah,
there?
St. Louis got good
From
barbecue.
Kansas.
How far is that? Like
5 hours.
So the other, damn.
So I'm okay. So St. Louis.
So there's some dirt roads in
That's
between, you would assume? Oh.
If they're coming from the country, yeah, but like
That's what I
from
was-
the
that's what I
major
was thinking,
cities,
yeah.
nah.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
but is Tech 9 still big in St. Louis?
I think it's big statewide.
yeah.
Tech 9's huge,
Yeah,
like out
that's
there,
like Missouri,
Midwest.
yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Even in like
Was you
Chicago
a
and
fan of
shit.
him already, or,
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know a lot about him. A lot of the songs that I have like downloaded and stuff,
Yeah.
there are a lot of duets and things that I've been like, ooh, I want to sign this, like, because I have my own personal agenda with things. So I'm like, I like this.
Also,
song,
you
these
sign
songs.
rap?
I can't.
Okay.
I'm gonna give that up to all the black interpreters who fucking amazing.
That's fair.
They can do it because especially they know their.
I see the
cultural
chick doing
signs.
Waka
Did you
Flocka,
try
and he
it?
started doing it.
Is she the bitch that has pink hair?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
know
don't
she-
like her. She don't like her.
I just remember
Who's
Waka.
this?
I don't know who she was, but she was
Cultural
signed.
appropriate.
Who's this?
Whatever that is.
Appropriation.
Yes,
Why?
because A, she's a white chick, and B, she can't rap. Like as a white chick, she doesn't know the culture, doesn't know the words, so she's creating all these different things that are making a lot of nonsense.
So when you're
And
singing
Word?
her sign,
I didn't know this
what do
beef
you
it in
see?
signing.
Beef.
like you see the specific signs she's doing, but she's incorporating all these different techniques that deaf people don't necessarily like, and especially deaf people who speak more deaf or black ASL who were from the black community.
Oh shit!
They
So
will
wait,
down-
obviously, the different
One guy-
dialogue and slang would be involved. Oh shit!
That's why.
So
That's
there's
why I was
this
asking
guy.
that.
There's this guy, and he
Guys,
goes
I
all
hope y'all
about-
saw that she attacked me.
I touch people unintentionally. There's this guy. He's fucking amazing, and I recommend everybody, even if you don't know ASL, to look him up.
Kevin, I know him.
Yeah. His name is definitely his
Is it
Swear.
persona.
DEAF?
And his name.
DEAF. Definitely dope.
I love it.
He's a black man. He's deaf himself. He signs rap songs. He did Chance the Rapper. He was interpreter for Chance the
Really good.
Rapper.
Nice.
He has all these different concepts, and he talks about like cultural concepts like turn up and what that would look like versus what a white interpreter would do. And so he explains all these different things, and it's basically, give the language back to the people who they are. Don't fucking just be like, yeah, because I'm an interpreter, I'm gonna do this,
Oh, I found that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I say before we wrap up, right? The taste this test, and we all find out what he is.
I'm gonna do it on
Everyone
I'm
stare
doing
at
another
Derek for
podcast
5
with her.
minutes.
Yeah.
No, everyone stare at Derek for 5 minutes
No.
while he takes the test.
I don't condone this behavior, James Michael.
Oh, of course. You think I need to have your permission?
You do. I'll message
Will
Katie.
you tell me it's better what? It's better what?
I don't know what you're
It's
talking
better
about.
to do what?
Oh, ask for forgiveness and permission?
I
There you go.
I
It's
just-
true.
I just told your brother.
what?
I just text them.
You text them?
Them too.
When? Now?
Yeah, it made me very uncomfortable. She's
okay.
very sneaky.
So
She's very sneaky.
okay, so for the Aaron Hernandez thing, we got like 10-15 minutes so we can close out on it.
Oh, cool.
Aaron Hernandez documentary was one of the things that I feel like everybody should watch. I think you should watch it with an open mind before you start to think who's like for me, I walked in with it. I kind of felt like people had angles, right?
Yeah.
But when you first start it, it literally opens with a guy trying to convince you that him and Aaron.
We're in a relationship.
No,
No?
that don't come till later.
That's not later.
Because when we were first watching when we watched the first episode, I told Brianna that's gonna be the guy who said that's his boyfriend.
Yeah.
I said that from the first episode
right.
because the way he spoke, he tried to emulate me and Aaron were the same guy. We look the same.
Yep.
We both have dimples. I said the only thing similar is that you both got fucking dents in your fucking cheeks.
Yeah, ass dimples.
You did not look anything like Aaron.
Wow.
You're
He didn't look like
Aaron looks Hispanic.
Yeah.
He does.
This
dude is
guy
white.
looks white. I'm not saying that a white person or a Hispanic person couldn't have similar features, but these two did not.
They did.
He might have been living in some sort of a fantasy world where he really honestly thought that, but the only thing you guys had going for you was that you both were in high school, you both played football, and you both had holes in your cheeks. That's it. I'm not talking about your butt cheeks. I'm talking about cheeks on your face.
I was like, wait.
So what I will say though is like, and I said it from the beginning, like literally like the first like 10, 15 minutes, I said, I can already tell you that that's the guy who's going to say Aaron was gay. I can tell you now, in a couple months, we need to remember this dude's name because he will have a book.
That's what she was telling
Yeah.
me.
Now, if he has a book, all this shows me is that he has a monetary agenda.
Yeah.
He was trying to do psychology in the fact that you were saying, like, oh, they look alike because over time, you know, the more people are together, the more they have the same mirrors, and the more they seem to do. So he's trying to already set the stage, like, we look alike because X, Y, and Z.
Well, the way he talks too is like a.
So there's a gay look?
No, wait, time out. No.
I know.
He was saying similarity wise, like, oh, but he was the way he talks.
Nice story.
The
They
way
all look nice. They're nice people.
the way he talks is kind of like, what do you call it when you're trying like to persuade somebody?
Yeah.
The whole time he's like, yeah, me and Aaron were the same person. We're both the hot shot in high school football. I'm the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's the tight end. We look the same.
And then,
I'm like,
but in the same
where did you
breath,
see that?
I couldn't believe that he would do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
what
he
I'm
tries to like he's manipulative. Like he tried to bring you in with the me and Aaron are just people we look alike. Aaron was a good guy.
And
Like so he's trying to not only is he trying to shine light on how he valued his relationship with Aaron or who Aaron was, but he also brought in but I'm also part of the story.
But his whole storyline didn't make fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
Because he was quick with the my dad was homophobic. We couldn't do
Both
anything.
dads,
Both dads.
Mm-hmm.
But then his
That's
dad
what-
sitting next to him and was like, I was telling him the whole time, how could he ever think that I wouldn't love him because he's gay?
I would more so lean the fact that.
And then they were talking
Hernandez's
about how his father
was homophobic.
wouldn't accept it.
So Aaron Hernandez
he beat the gay out of him.
Aaron's father was definitely homophobic.
Yeah.
He was definitely that old school Spanish, like Puerto Rican dude.
That was my point.
Now-
Like the story when Aaron
And
Hernandez wanted
it's
to.
definitely worth the watch.
He said he wanted to be a
I'm still
cheerleader.
gonna watch it, but just the fact that if someone did out him in the court case or whatever, think about Aaron having to go back to his dad and have to face that.
His dad was already passed.
His dad passed when he was
But-
16.
There was a-
17,
But
yeah.
There was a
like,
story-
especially if he's-
Well, outing
His
somebody as a
family-
whole is already
but you
wrong.
know,
But yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
honestly,
One story that pissed me
That's
off.
not
His
outing
uncles
anymore.
or, you know,
It's not your like I always say, like when we talk in like general. If something comes up, what do I tell you? And it's not my spot. I said it's not my place to tell you.
Right.
That's how it is in life. If it doesn't directly, if it's not something that I directly have a hand in, I shouldn't be the one telling you.
dead or alive though.
So
In general,
but here's
right,
my
yeah,
thing.
that's my
Even if
point.
he's
So,
gay,
like-
even if he's gay or not,
Hold
right?
on. Go ahead.
There's no. So when you know how like what's that thing when you go after somebody's character but it's false?
Defamation.
Yeah.
So there's no defamation there because he's dead. He
No,
can't
it's
say.
no.
you can
That's 100%
You
defamation.
can't.
It-
It is.
Corey,
Because he's not
defamation.
getting-
Defamation is when you
Attack.
stain someone's
Name.
name. You can defame somebody 100% if they're dead.
Dead or alive.
It's easier to do it because they cannot. What's the word?
Defend
themselves.
themselves.
No. Well, defend works, but
Appeal?
Counteract
nah.
what
Go
you're
ahead.
saying,
Go ahead. I was
but-
being
No,
mad.
because
But my point is,
It didn't work.
right?
It didn't work. I
There's
failed.
there's nobody here to say that it didn't happen. All it is
No.
people say that it did happen.
No,
That's why I
because-
say. That's why I said it was a hit piece.
So then when we have the prosecutor saying, oh, Odin Lloyd had something over his head. But what's this something? Obviously, we know that it's saying that it's the gay
You know what's
bashing.
obvious?
What's
That's
obvious?
your assumption.
Because it wasn't the CTE thing
Okay.
That what?
that Odin Lloyd had over it.
So
No, they.
Aaron Hernandez
So
said.
they started.
Corey, leave it
Remember
up.
they
And-
were saying
and-
that
hold on.
he had something over his head.
Okay, in that documentary, they were talking about that they didn't know, like Odin Lloyd and Aaron had whatever the twist of their friendship.
Right.
Something happened. They were friends because the girlfriends of them
Word.
were
together.
our sisters.
Right.
Sisters, yeah.
So, what I heard in the documentary and what I heard in the streets, two different things. What I heard in the streets was that Aaron Same thing. It's also hearsay, defamation kind of deal. To me, all I took that shit was is he said, she said throughout the whole thing.
Right.
And the documentary was that he possibly had knowledge that Aaron was gay.
That's what I'm saying.
That was in the documentary.
Right.
What I heard on the streets is that Odin Lloyd was the dude that was getting him his medicine because he contracted HIV. See what I'm saying? And that also supposed to be on the ID documentary that's coming out. Now, I don't know if it's gonna come, like if the information or whatever is gonna come out like that, but that was the word that I heard around the way. Now,
HIV because
HIV positive because of homophobic actions or whatever.
Okay,
Now, I'm not personally, I'm not correlating the two.
Yeah,
this is just what I heard.
Right.
So, for me personally, I take it all with a grain of salt because the man had the characteristics of an old school Spanish person while talking. Mm-hmm. Everything about Aaron was homophobic.
Yeah.
Nothing at all was like, you know how you have those.
He called them. He said them. He said them. Those things.
Yeah, he called them things.
Yes,
those things. He didn't even
So here's the thing. People might try and throw out the argument that gay people, like closeted gay men or gay people, try and throw it out that they try and.
But they have that white guy.
Yeah, even then though, he had an agenda.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. So he tried. Oh, I played the manliest.
Which white guy?
From the Patriots. The guy who played.
They
McCullough.
They used him.
Being gay
he said he was like disgusting and nasty because he didn't want people to find him attractive.
So.
Who produced this?
I don't
Sorry, I didn't mean to like.
No, you
This
didn't.
is a Netflix documentary.
So
I know who produced it.
But is it a person of color or is it a white person?
Probably light skin.
That's a good question.
What I will say is that
Robert Kraft.
a lot of the time, like people's argument might be like, oh, closeted men try and assimilate to being a straight male, meaning like they try and do their digs and stuff towards gay people, like use the F-bomb and diminish gay people.
They overcompensate.
Now here's the thing. Aaron himself, when he spoke, like people have problems with his conversations over the phone in prison. I said that just sounds like a motherfucker trying to get through his day. That just sounds like a dude trying to survive. Everybody's like, oh, he's making jokes and shit. I'm like, you wouldn't while you're sitting in jail for fucking.
You gotta make the best out of the situation you're in.
I'm not saying
you could be in the shittiest situation, but make the best out of it.
When you get a call from someone that you care about or love, you want it to be a negative tone?
Word.
No.
Yo, listen, I don't care where you're at in life. I don't care if you're in this shit. If you're calling me, you're calling me for a reason. Yeah. I'm gonna shine light on your shittiest day. I'm gonna try.
And even more so in prison, you would want it to be a positive conversation.
Exactly.
Right, because you don't get much time out and much interaction other than with other prisoners. So, but Aaron's tendencies while speaking and like, a lot of the times, what's the saying? It's like 10% is verbal, 90% is your body language. Okay. So even if we went off just verbal, 10%.
Because we're on the phone.
That did not show any inkling of gay.
I mean, yeah, because
now physically.
Because okay.
Where did you get
people? The people that.
Time out. I'm only talking about Aaron.
Yep. This goes to it.
Go ahead.
So when we talk about
if it doesn't, I'm gonna punch it.
When we talk about Aaron, he's saying
say punch or punt.
Punch. What was the word?
Punch. Like it would have been perfect. It would have been.
No, you said that he was using like the word thing.
And he used maggot a couple times.
Yeah, to describe trends. Right. People who claim homophobia, who I believe are closeted gay, use those vocabulary things, F-bombs.
So he even said that's what they call him in prison.
Yeah.
So but now you following?
No. I can also make the argument that he knew how to trigger his girlfriend.
Not to seem gay because somebody listened to your conversation.
Ready? Time out. I don't give a fuck. Well, we play ball with other people from another city.
Okay.
We don't run Chelsea rules, where we got to clear everything. Right?
Yeah, you play according to.
Exactly. So in prison, you don't use the same terminology that you might use in Connecticut.
Maybe you just fold to the...
You use the terminology that everybody else uses because you are trying to communicate with everybody.
Or maybe you're just trying to be the cool guy. When you go to New York...
You're conforming regardless.
You have to. If you go to New York, right?
No, we're saying the same thing.
Okay. Because what I'm getting at is if you go to New York, you're not going to go and try to use terminology that you don't know. You only use what you know.
Why? Because they don't know that term.
No, you would.
You know what you know.
No, when you're in New York, you try and make sure that they know what you're trying to say.
You're the
I'm not gonna go around saying be in Tim's.
Yes, you are. I guarantee it. It's gonna happen naturally. It's gonna naturally
you
happen.
gotta pick up on it.
That's it.
A simulation.
It's true, right? That's one of those things. Just
no,
like
perfect. You're from a different state.
Yeah.
You picked up the slang here. Are you starting to?
I mean, I'm starting to, so I'm understood, but I'd always say when I first.
do you guys in
My
Missouri? Do you use
initial reaction-
yins?
It's to know what you know.
What?
Yins?
Right, but-
It means y'all.
Yin?
No, that's like in Pittsburgh. They use yins.
No.
See, but you don't know that.
I do know that because
but hold on.
I learned it.
So hold on.
But
The
also-
first day you go to Pittsburgh, you're not gonna be like.
No, yeah, that's
Can
true.
Can I speak in the terms of at least what I've learned in sign language?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, so there's.
I think that's bigger. I think
Yeah.
that
Sign language there's American Sign Language used in America,
Mhm.
but there are regional signs.
of course.
So depending on where you're from, your sign for trash will either be on your forehead, or it could be trash on your elbow. It depends on where you're from.
Yep.
So I will constantly, no matter where the deaf person is from, use trash on the elbow because they recognize my sign.
Right.
We all kind of know each other's sign, but we use where we're from.
Yep.
You know. So here, well, the word that comes to mind is everybody says wicked, which I don't fucking understand.
It's just wicked.
I don't think. Hold on. No.
that-
Do any Bostonians really say wicked?
Well,
White
white people, wicked, and I generally
Wicked
I always
pizza.
say rad because rad is just something that I've grown up with.
Rad
I
is
say,
y'all's.
Oh, that's rad.
Rad is y'all's wicked.
Yeah, I guess.
She still don't understand the wicked
Listen,
thing.
I don't say
Right.
wicked. I'm from
We
here.
don't even understand the
So
wicked
if
thing.
I
Go ahead, let her
say,
talk, let
say
her-
on dogs, what would you say?
I have no fucking
You say
idea.
on dogs.
On dogs
If I
means
say-
like
Like
in
real
the
talk.
utmost seriousness.
Like if I was like, yo, on dogs, you'd be like, on dogs.
Like real talk.
Like
dead
this is the
dogs,
truest
Corey.
thing I can tell you.
I may not is that a black culture thing?
No, it's a Boston thing.
A Boston thing?
Yeah.
It might have started as a black culture thing.
No.
Okay.
It's a
but
It's a Boston
It's
thing.
a Boston.
It's a
thing.
Boston thing. Think about it because even actually it's not
So
even.
then
I don't know
I
Boston
would
or Chelsea.
probably, as an
That's
outsider,
No, in Dorchester they would say that.
On dead dogs.
On dead
On
dogs.
dead
They say on dead
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah.
So, being an outsider, not from being from the Boston area, I would probably be able to recognize what you're saying, but I would say yeah or something. I would never repeat
Yeah,
what you're saying.
You're right as hell. Hell yeah.
Yeah, 100.
Say
Yeah.
on dead dogs.
Like I
On all the dead dogs, bro.
like I would be able to learn to recognize what you're saying, and I would reciprocate in a
Why
way.
are you? So
Yeah, why
therefore
are you
you are
Because
doing.
I want to know your core being. I want to know.
Would you
what
have to
you're-
hear it a couple of times to like pick
Yes.
up what
What,
they're
Yeah,
saying?
obviously.
What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
You're gonna be lost in hell because.
Because I don't want to be lost, but I'm not
Slang.
going to try to imitate what you're saying because that's who you guys are. That's how you've grown up. That's what you've said.
Yep.
That's not
Because
that's
slang.
not new
Yeah.
to
She's
me.
like,
Slang,
Same
because slang is not universal. Slang is not
That's
universal.
my
It's
point.
it's by region.
That's my point.
And like you said though,
Coke, pop, all that crap for soda.
when you talk about lollipop, it's lollipop, sucker.
Yeah.
What else they call them?
Pop.
No, it's soda.
That's soda here, right?
What are you looking? What are you saying?
Lollipop.
Lollipop.
Suckers.
That's like my mom used to call them suckers, but we always knew lollipop
Some
because we're from here.
rations.
Oh,
My mom-
I always call them suckers.
My
What do you
mom,
call the
my
thing
mom's
you
from
push
Ohio.
Every fucking buddy here calls carriage. What the fuck is that?
What do
It's
you
a
call it?
cart.
It's a carrot.
What is Mark call it? What is Mark call it?
I call it a shopping
She said,
cart.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, fucking in market basket today going to get shit, and they're like, everybody part time something bag
Go
boys,
grab the
whatever,
carriages.
and go grab the
What the
carriage.
fuck's a carriage?
Carriage guy.
Carriage is what you fucking push a baby in.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
She
you
right,
push
yeah.
it.
The baby's
Hold on.
going there.
Hold on.
I thought that's what she was talking about when she said
So,
carriage. To be
alright,
honest, I was
so
like,
in a house,
what's the baby in it?
Yeah.
when you have your general setup,
Okay.
what is the common room called?
A living room?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Family
We
room?
call it the parlor.
Who's we?
Who's we?
Spanish people.
Who?
No, that's so you do know. So time out. You do know like originally, you had a living room and a parlor.
Yeah.
The parlor. So usually it was like
The
more so
entry room?
for the
The foyer?
formal,
Something
the
like that.
formal room. No, it was
We
two,
didn't have
literally
all that.
two
There's two
different rooms. One was the living room was with the
With the
common
living
area,
area.
Yeah.
and the parlor sometimes would contain like a dining table or something like that.
That's
Yeah,
so weird
it'd be
because
like when you
in
go to
Missouri
foyer.
it's family room and living room. Living room is where you don't actually live,
Yeah, but
where
you-
like the
TVs and
fancy
stuff.
shit is, but then family room
Oh.
is where you are family.
You know why I
Ah.
remember the living room?
What?
Because
I just remember grandma be like, "Go to the parlor."
So you remember when Grandma had that glass table?
Yeah, the
And I
one,
go-
the one that James Felter.
Well, One of us. I don't know.
James, you fell through that
No,
shit.
I got dropped through it.
Whatever,
as a
same thing.
child.
But there was like to my parents. Oh, you guys have to replace it. Never mind the fact that
He went through the
he
glass.
went through the glass.
What
Caused him to go
No
through
one
the
said
glass?
it was your fault. We were saying you went through glass.
What made him go through the glass?
Yeah.
But it's not like he was like,
Right, exactly.
Well, there was some rough
There's
edges.
two
There
different,
was
like
definitely some rough
you
edges.
guys are leaving it up to their imaginations. It's like James went through it. Like I was like,
He literally walked by and was just like, dolphin.
I hate this table.
But yeah. So back to the conversation with Aaron Hernandez thing. Like she said, you eventually, or in general, naturally would assimilate. You would naturally, so I can get my point across, because I know what I want to say. I want to make sure you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to use the terminology that you use.
Use your
Of course. I mean, I get that.
especially in a world where they're just looking for any excuse to take you out.
True.
He's different.
So when you say that he was using them or things or those things, whatever, he was just talking how they speak in prison. Whereas back home, he would use the word maggot or whatever else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hold on. Now, watching the dog. Watching the dog. Did you at one point say, "Oh, he might have been gay"?
Nope.
No.
Me either.
Me neither.
At one point in the dog, did you say maybe CTE?
100%.
They I feel like they ignored the CTE.
No.
One thing that they did that made me mad.
Maybe 30 minutes of CTE talk.
Wait.
Everything else was gay bashing.
Hold on.
No.
So you're gonna tell me
They talked
in
about
general,
CT enough.
Not a lot.
they
Yeah,
did
the
talk
last two
about.
episodes.
You're gonna tell
The last two episodes they
That-
talked about CTE.
you blame all these allegations on CTE.
I absolutely do
Nope.
not.
No. I can.
He was
I
a
say-
violent man who did violent actions.
I would say I wouldn't blame it
CTE?
on
It's, from
CTE.
brain
I would
damage,
say
from getting
like
hit from too many tackles.
it could play a part.
Not like a person's name.
I don't disagree.
I
I don't
don't say
disagree
that,
that
like-
it could play a part. However, there are other people that are in the same exact teams, playing the same exact positions, that aren't out shooting people.
What about the guy from the Cardinals who was who was an active
He
NFL
killed
player?
himself at
And
the
he killed
stadium.
Yeah.
It was Arrowhead.
Active.
It was Kansas City, I thought.
Yeah, okay, you might be right. But he was an active player.
Yeah,
He
but
shot
you're
himself
saying
in the
it's a
head.
CTE thing.
Could they research his brain to find
No.
reason?
Yes, you can still research.
No.
Yeah, you can, because it's the tissue that they're looking at. It's not.
I think he
No,
his brain was gone.
because the brain has to be whole so that they can see all the areas that are missing. If you shoot yourself in the head, it's
Yeah,
Time out.
I mean, have you ever seen what a bullet does to
that's
a
why
brain?
I say I was
Shot himself in the chest.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
so
in
no.
his brain.
Time out. We're gonna have to go look.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they still also researched that dude's brain and found big traces, not small, but big traces of CTE. Aaron Hernandez was the worst case of CTE that they had found.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hold on, I don't
Especially for
understand.
his age.
What
CTE is like the you know how when you
Here, I'll show you.
so say you like break your elbow.
It's
or
like
something,
holes in your
the
brain.
No, it's the
It's calcification.
calcification
Oh,
of
in
the
the
brain.
brain. So like when your brain's being rocked
Look.
back and forth.
Look, it's
So like blunt force
so you see how look how
Different.
The one on the right.
so this is
CTE.
more solid. Right? Brain matter is more like squishy and stuff.
Yeah.
This
so,
one is all
like,
could have been-
calcified.
It could have been
in a-
head
in a
hits
helmet,
from
yeah.
from the helmet.
concussions, anything. It doesn't have to be in a helmet. Like
No,
if you
it's
fall and
just
hit your head.
it's when your brain shakes in your skull. So
So,
your
like-
brain will shake and hit the front of your skull, hit the back. So sometimes when you fall and you hit your head and you get that ringing sound, that feel, or that like the shock of white.
Yeah.
I don't know how to call it. Like that shock of you get that like that flash.
In that.
That
Yeah.
most of the time they say that
Look
could
at-
lead to like that could be CTE or shaking of the brain.
Not the commercial.
But a lot of the time, just make sure you're not playing anything over the top.
No, it's not. Muted.
So Aaron Hernandez was the worst case of CTE that they had ever seen in history. The family donated their brain ever
Yeah.
since
I know
researching
for
it.
his age.
No, ever.
So
Yeah.
like I
So
said,
I personally we can't just say that it was all behavioral. We have to take into consideration that maybe his was so advanced that his mind couldn't rationalize or dictate. Just because I'm angry, I'm gonna act this way.
What's the
We
word?
can't.
Impulse.
Yeah.
No
See,
impulse.
that's what I was getting
But that
at.
was another
That's what I was
trait.
getting
That's
at.
a trait of
That thing of,
CTE.
like,
Is the
emotion.
impulse shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
I'm
yes.
reacting.
Impulse
It,
on
it was
emotion.
all off of a reaction. But every
That
time
part of my
Aaron
brain that says stop.
did something,
Think about this.
Did you guys watch Say Out
So
30
hold on.
for 30?
I have a question. Why the hell can they not like see this before they die?
Because they have to open it.
Look at it.
They have
like
to.
your brain,
They have to
you
cut it.
Why don't we have scans and shit?
They're
that
working
can
on
look
that
at
now.
it?
They're trying to do it now. This is new research. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's
The
one of those
fact that
things.
the NFL could have hit it this long is crazy.
Shit, you're telling me.
They could have hit it longer.
Is there a cap on how many years someone can be a football player?
No,
No.
it's just
No.
until
For
the
their
body
mental
breaks
health?
up.
It's called
For their reason?
chronic
So-
traumatic
so-
encephalogy.
Derek, when you hear
Yeah.
load
Big
management,
cap on how many years
I'm not
someone
thinking
can be a football
CTE.
player?
That's
I'm
body
thinking
image.
mental health.
Changing
No,
the
lo-
elements and
load
stuff,
management,
but
like
if
playing
you're
wise?
good,
Like with
they
LeBron.
don't care. If
When I have
you're
load
good,
management.
Well, talking about for
Think of it
basketball,
about your
for
health,
basketball, it'd
yeah,
definitely
I
be
know
like
that's
fatigue
what
or
the NFL
or
is
mental.
about.
For football, when you talk load management, it's literally the
Physical.
taxing on the body.
Yo,
Yeah.
is
It has
CTE
nothing to do with getting tired.
in a NBA
Let's-
disease
let's
too?
Mute your mic if you're gonna
Yeah,
talk like that.
I can't hear it.
There's no way he can't hear you.
Corey, that
You're
I
loud
can't
as shit.
hear
What was the question?
Okay.
is CTE an NBA disease too? Or,
No.
I mean,
No.
CTE is the rattling of the brain. So, like basketball, you really don't got all that heavy contact. Like, yeah, some people fall and stuff.
But I get it.
You know what I mean? So, but with football, it's so predominant.
I'm
Like
trying to think of other sports.
the amount of people.
I doubt it because of crashing.
It's more like boxing, UFC. Football's the worst because you gotta think everybody got this misconception that because I got this helmet, I'm safe.
And it's not even every day because you do it in practice. You're definitely getting
Yeah, yeah,
concussions in
yeah.
practice. You might get a lighter one.
So with the Hernandez thing, I'm gonna say we have to 100% think the CTE had something to do with his actions.
You think CTE did something with OJ?
Oh, for sure.
You think CTE did
If we're
something
gonna-
with Saya?
We know it did.
You think CTE did something with the Arrow State dude?
What?
The Arrowhead Stadium guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So how come they?
Listen. I'll keep going for you.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
CTE is doing something with Antonio Brown. CTE is doing something with Tyreek Hill.
Why
No.
are we not doing this?
You know?
Maybe, but I don't think so. I think that motherfucker just
I
shot
think
somebody.
it's
I think he just shot somebody in the chest.
I'm gonna drop a name and it's gonna be like, oh shit, it did something with Chris
Benoit.
Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
Oh, for sure,
I was
yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna get to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just the rattling and calcification of the brain.
So, but okay, so what I was getting at is.
Damn. Yo, I'm sorry. Hold on. Yo, guys, listen, bro. We're having a great conversation and whatnot. We are going to have to cut this short. People have prior engagements and things that they have to do.
It's adulting.
We are going to knock these shots down.
To be an adult.
Don't feel pressure, guys. Yeah, this is a cheers to life and appreciating those while we are here.
And being healthy.
I don't know about that part.
Cheers.
Woo!
I just like the irony. Being healthy while I'm taking on this shot, you know?
No, it's healthy.
Yeah, it's like doing chin
With
ups
that-
liver, you know?
With that being said, this has been another installment of the With All Disrespect podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Most importantly of all, we want to get it out there. It doesn't matter for us the numbers and whatnot. We're going to be here doing this every week that we are possibly
Are we doing
able
this
to
next
do
week?
it. Of course.
I got a question
We
for you.
use-
about
hold up.
audience
Hold
after
on.
you're done.
Saturdays, you'll find us, and then you'll catch us on some other days when we have other guests that are available during the week. Go ahead, James.
What kind of parent are you like?
Kind of parent.
What kind of which one of your parents are you like?
Mm.
That's a question I want y'all to think about.
Oh, also we're going to be more active on our social media. We'll be probably posting a lot more polls and things like that. Yeah, I just now we got access on our phones and stuff with all the stuff, so we're just gonna be more proactive with questions and things like that on the Instagram at least of With All Disrespect. So make sure to follow us there. We do a follow for a follow, I believe.
Hell yeah.
I just follow.
Next week is Derek's birthday.
True.
Woo!
So we're on the fence if we're gonna do a
Hey.
podcast that night because also it's the John Jones fight. The last time we did a fight, we did get a lot of people
turnover.
in there, but they were there for the fight. So we might do it
Y'all
then.
pay our court costs, fees, and everything.
Costs.
All that
You heard
stuff. Yeah, listen, when the dude says and court costs.
True.
So
Yeah. So next week,
y'all pay it all.
so this is my birthday. John Jones is fighting. It's a pretty decent card. We're not sure if we are going to.
Who's he
Are we gonna do it here or are we gonna go out?
We're gonna do it here.
So we'll do it here. We'll probably run a little podcast while we do it, or do a podcast before. I just don't know if I want to do it while we do the whole show, like while we watch the fight. We'll keep you guys posted.
We'll figure it out.
Like I said, we will be doing a lot more online. You'll see us more active on.
Maybe an episode the Friday.
I was gonna say worst case scenario. We'll figure it out. We'll think about it. If we're gonna do one, then we'll do it Saturday. If not, then we'll try to get one in on Friday.
Yeah.
I have Fridays off, so
yeah. So, like I said, we appreciate you guys all. This is a passion project. This isn't a project to get any kind of money or anything out of it. If it comes later, we ain't complaining. But
your title, holla at us.
Guys, make sure you guys enjoy the rest of your nights. We're gonna be doing other things to try and reach more people. So being on other platforms like the Apple, iTunes, podcast, and all that shit. But good night.